Your commentary team tonight, former Everton midfielder Barry Horn and match commentator Derek Jones.
Ian, thank you very much. The two sides just making their way out below us here, and a terrific reception for both sides. It's going to be a great atmosphere inside this stadium. Certainly this evening we've got the blue contingent are here in force again away towards our left-hand side, and well, I think they feel as if they might get an opportunity this evening to see their side score a goal for the first time this season, but also to make sure that they get through to the third round of the Carabao Cup. And well, I mean, they love the football here, don't they, Barry? And there's a terrific atmosphere inside of here, but obviously Everton can silence that, can't they? I'm sure they'll have most of the possession tonight anyway, but
well, I've got to say both ends are full behind the goals. The stand that way is most full. There's big gaps over the far side, but and it never ceases to amaze me. You know, we're 3 games into the season, we haven't scored a goal. It's a Tuesday or a Wednesday night, I've lost track. Horrible journey over here, yet however many tickets Everton get, they sell out in a couple of hours, if not quicker. You know, every seat behind that goal was full. If they'd give us another couple of thousand, that corner of the ground would be full. So yes, there is a great atmosphere, and a big part of that is because the Everton fans always travel brilliantly. So yes, hopefully their journey across the Pennines will be rewarded with the performance and goals to give us confidence, well, to put us through to the next round, which I think is really important, and to give us some confidence going into a massive game at the weekend.
Have you been surprised sometimes how certain sides don't take this competition perhaps as seriously as they might do? I know we've had some big winners in recent years, but it's a real opportunity for clubs, isn't it, to get themselves into Europe and get a trophy?
I mean, most... so if you want, you can divide the Premier League up into those who are going to struggle, those who are just happy to stay there and will stay there, and those who are trying to get into the top, into the Champions League. Teams trying to get in the Champions League see it as a nuisance. I think it's rubbish that players can't play 2 games or 3 games in 2 weeks or whatever it is that most of them are asked to play. So they rest players. Then you get the teams at the bottom prioritise staying in the Premier League, which is the be-all and end-all. But last night, Spurs, for example, they're not going to win the league. They're probably not going to qualify for the Champions League. They can win 2 cups. Everybody's excited there. They've got a new manager. They've got a new brand of playing football, and then boosh, everything's gone flat. Everton, you might not win it because City or Arsenal are probably going to win it, or Liverpool in years gone by. But you give the fans something to look forward to. It builds confidence if you're winning games, and you know you might have a day out at the end of it. So, you know, the Spurs now, for example, this nonsense that plays too many games of football, Spurs potentially have got 35 games in the league and 1 game in the FA Cup left. 36 games, and so that's 1 a week. Rubbish.
Yes, it's always wondered from my perspective as well. I'm sure, from a professional point of view, you want to try and win things, and I'm sure Everton
will try and do those Spurs players that didn't get selected last night.
We're underway here.
Madison, for example, would be furious. Anyway, we're off.
Everton, Blackburn are 2-0 up at Harrogate in the 7:45 kickoffs. This is a later kickoff, remember. A full exclusive local radio commentary on BBC Radio Merseyside. Particularly that Everton side again with Pickford in goal, Patterson, Godfrey, Keane, Mikolenko, Garner, Doucouré, Onana, Dobbin, Danjuma and Chermity. Beto's on the bench for the Blues tonight. Virginia's the goal king, so Tarkovsky, Maupay, Young, Gay, Branthwaite and Onyango there as well. As Pickford's under a bit of pressure inside his own penalty area. He's made a mistake and loses possession, and the ball's hacked away by Everton. Well, Michael Keane and Jordan Pickford really get themselves in a bit of a mess, and Everton really fortunate that it's only a corner.
For a player reportedly lacking in confidence, that's not a great start to the game. Jordan Pickford did not have a go at Michael Keane there. The two of them just accepted that there was a mistake between the two of them and get on with it. And I think Jordan Pickford probably realising not a great idea to be having a go at Michael Keane the first minute of the game.
Short corner taken by Doncaster on this near side. Played back as far as Tommy Rowe. Their captain's curled in, and then, well, if he's onside, that was an opportunity because he didn't make the most of it. He jumped in front of the goalkeeper in the end. That was the big defender, Alu, who got there really, and the flag did not go up. So Rose ball in, and well, he just didn't make any real contact. Well, in the end, took it away from goal. It was a defender's header rather than an attacker's header, wasn't it?
He did make contact, but listen, I was no great header of the ball, but I would have scored that. That should be 1-0. A nice little curl ball in behind the defence. Not sure what Everton were trying to do, trying to play offside, it looked like, and he was left completely on his own.
No, on it.
Middle of the goal, in the 6-yard box, and he's completely got his header wrong. I can't even understand how he's got that wrong, because it just hit him and went straight up in the air. That's a let-off. So let-off with a back pass, let-off with that cross, and shocking header.
Ball played in. He tried to put goalkeeper Lawler under pressure there and didn't do. Yeah, I mean, a real mix-up between two England internationals, between Keane and Pickford, and then Pickford's had a very, very heavy touch inside his penalty as well.
Yes, I think that was the thing. I think that's why Pickford didn't have a go at Michael. It was Pickford's touch that caused the problem.
It surprises me in those sort of situations that goalkeepers just don't launch it into the stands and start again. You know, I mean, they seem to have to. I've got to play the ball out with my feet and be clever.
Well, that's one of the things about the game today, isn't it? That's what you do. That's what you have to do. And it's like every time you do that, you run the risk of making a mistake, which obviously is, you know, very often very, very costly. Just put your foot through it. You're under a bit of pressure. Put your foot through it and start again.
Patterson trying to play it forward, but again there's a Doncaster player in the way, and they win the ball back, and they've started it really lively, the League Two side, and as you would expect, and that's exciting their fans as well. Everton have to weather a little bit of storm at the moment, so they switch play to this near side. That's the Doncaster right, picked up by Molineux. He's faced by two Everton players. Danjuma is back there, and also Mikolenko, and in the end Doncaster going all the way back, and Shamiti is making sure that he puts the goalkeeper under pressure. Wimbledon take the lead at Stamford Bridge, lead Chelsea by a goal to 0. Ball on that far side, and foot in by Lewis Dobbin. The ball goes out of play on that far side for a throw. Everton take it quickly. Now they'll try and break down that.
Everton haven't settled at all. They haven't settled at all. Doncaster on top at the moment.
Under pressure again, and well, very, very positive running forward there, and in the end the ball ricocheted away and behind for a goal kick, but as you say, just haven't settled in possession at all.
A couple of forward passes have been cut out easily. Spaces in midfield where Doncaster are able to play, and their midfield is the wrong side of our midfielder. Some desperate last-ditch challenges going in on the edge of the box.
Long ball forward by Mikolenko. The header goes up in the air. Shamiti battling hard once, then twice. The ball bounces away from him for the second time, but now it's with Onana facing his own goal, and well, Everton have played 3 balls back to their goalkeeper already in the opening 4 minutes of this one. Long ball again. This time Alu gets right underneath it. He was the defender had the real opportunity.
We haven't won a header yet anywhere on the pitch.
Pickford there wants the ball to come into his penalty area, and it does. And you expect Doncaster to come out of the traps quickly this evening, but it's unsettled Everton already. It's a lot of experience in that Everton lineup as well. And now they're just trying to settle things down, perhaps with Godfrey passing it to Michael Keane. Mikolenko away in this near side. They'll just glad just to have possession a little.
I've got to say, yes, Sean Dyche has made 1 or 2 changes, but on any given day, that could be a Premier League team. That could be Everton's Premier League starting 11 in the Premier League at any given time.
Doncaster deep inside their own half and making sure they're under a bit of pressure there. That ball goes back to the goalkeeper in the end. Outside the Curry there, and make sure it's not easy for Doncaster to play out from the back if they want to. A lot of their goalkeeper now.
Well, Everton start with 3 players high, but that is leaving them maybe the spaces in midfield, which is where Doncaster are doing well. They pick the ball up again in midfield.
Yeah, James Garner and Onana in the centre there. No, Idrissa Gana Gueye, of course, who's on the bench this evening, so a slightly more open centre of the pitch. Angle ball to Molineux, chests the ball down away from Mikolenko, then turns inside. Ball played back and wide to this near side to Bailey. Down the touchline there is Molineux. Takes the throw quickly. Chance the cross to come in from this right-hand side, and this time it's won by Ben Godfrey away from danger. But Doncaster threatening again.
Mikulenko just switched off from that throw in. He was more concerned with arguing with the referee, and it was clearly a Doncaster throw.
Still battling hard for the Yorkshire side, and then the long ball forward that's going to be behind for a goal kick. They're buoyed by their crowd in the early stages. As I say, their form this season hasn't been good, but it's not just Everton who want to get through tonight. There's some players out there for Doncaster Rovers. It's a chance you're in the spotlight. Somebody might just spot you, and you never know, that might lead to something else.
Listen, it would be a massive shock, wouldn't it? But, you know, there's a reason why the Sky television cameras have chosen this game tonight, because they think it's possible. And I would say, although there's 4 divisions between them, they've had a really tough start. The teams that have beaten were 6th, 7th, 4th, and top of the table. They lost to Harrogate in the first game, who were mid-table, but they have had a tough start, which is at least in part the reason they're propping up the league.
Yeah, Grant McCann still trying to settle his squad here, I think, and make them competitive in League Two. Now with Onana in a very deep position now. Played into the feet there of Lewis Dobbin. Right to Patterson on that far side, and tries to get towards the dead ball line. Has he won a corner? Yes, he has. So
that's a nice positive play from Dobbin, picking the ball up in a tight position in midfield. Onana slid the ball into him. Quick feet, and he's moved the ball and played Patterson in down the right hand side.
Bit of trust from Sean Dyche and Lewis Dobbin, giving him an opportunity.
Yeah, I think he saw enough in his substitute appearance and in the time he was on the pitch at Goodison.
Cross comes in now. The ball might break towards the edge of the penalty area. And in the end, they've got to go all the way back towards their goalkeeper, Everton. They weren't able to recycle it there through Patterson. He took the easy route back to his goalkeeper in the end. And Pickford almost on halfway. Angled ball away, looking for Mikulenko on this near side. Little knock ball forward, and Everton try and build again, but the flag's gone up on that far side. That's going to be a free kick for Doncaster.
Yeah, offside, I think. Yes, offside against Chimiti, who's just, to be clear, is playing through the middle. Danjuma in what I believe to be his preferred position, left of the striker 3, with Lewis Dobbin taking up the equivalent role on the right. And both the 2 wide strikers, as you'd expect, dropping in to make a 4-2-3-1 formation. Out of possession.
Doubled up on Patterson there for a minute, and they managed to get down that left-hand touchline of Doncaster, and then the cross in. Did that take a deflection? No, it didn't. It's gone behind for a goal kick. The home fans don't agree, but James Maxwell got down that right-hand side. Then as they switched the play there were 2 on Patterson, and when the ball went past him, the overload was there, wasn't it, to get the cross in?
It was. They didn't make it was a heavy touch from the Doncaster player, and the chance was gone. But the game's settling down a little bit now, but Doncaster, I would suggest, still the more composed.
10 minutes gone first half. Still Doncaster 0, Everton 0. Godfrey having to do a bit of defending away on that far side. That's the Everton right, and Doncaster win themselves a throw. They'll be happy with that. Not too sure if they've got a long throw merchant in their side, but we might see how they set up from this throw, which is about 4 or 5 yards from the corner flag. Well, the answer's no, because it's played short by Maxwell. Gets the ball back now, strong challenge in, but he's ridden that one and then tries to get the cross in, but too many Everton players over there. Garner can send the ball long. It's over there to Chimiti, and the ball played back to goalkeeper Lawler. Takes a touch in. Just like Jordan Pickford in the first minute, he wasn't the best in the world, but he was able to recover this time and clear the ball away from danger. Little flick header on there by Onana. Now with Lewis Dobbin looking for support, gets it from Patterson behind him. Onana put on his shoulders in that midfield tonight, certainly. Barry was saying before the start, needs to perhaps a little bit more spark, see a little bit more from Amadou Onana. He's had his settling in now, hasn't he, to the Premier League.
Yeah.
He needs to show now what he was paid for.
I just want to show the fans something that he's really, really good at. You know, just say, right, this is what I'm going to bring to the team. And at the minute, for me, there's a little bit of everything, but not enough of anything, if that makes sense.
Good layoff there by Takuri to Patterson. Decent ball forward there for Dobbin, but just ran away from him in the end. But it was a good run from midfield, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Difficult ball to play, that a little bit straight, with not that much space in behind Dobbin. for any, no matter how much pace a player's got. That's a difficult pass to play, but Patterson's seen the pass, and just maybe early indications that the two of them are starting to build up a little bit of a relationship.
If you're making runs from midfield, it's just making the defenders think a little bit, and are they tracking them from midfield?
And Dobbins played Patterson in as the furthest man forward on a couple of occasions as well.
Back with Jordan Pickford, the Everton captain tonight, in the absence of James Tarkowski. Keane seems to have made it with Pickford after that mess up with the back pass in the early stages that Everton just escaped from. Ball down this near side by Doucouré. Now with Danjuma back to Doucouré, and then tries to drill his way through the defender on the edge of the penalty area, but they stand firm. He's got back as Abdoulaye Doucouré to try and win the ball back. And there's a few challenges flying in there, and eventually it's gone out on this near side. It's a Doncaster Rovers throw.
Yeah,
you don't mind a few challenges like that, do you, Barry?
No, absolutely not. Love it. And to be fair to Doucouré, again, he's a willing runner, isn't he? He tried to take his man on. The defender stood his ground, got his foot in, but then Doucouré didn't just accept that. He got back at him, got his challenge in.
Headed down this near touch on Ben Godfrey is across as the covering player, as Mo Farrell was trying to get on the end of that one. Tall, lanky striker for the home side. Joe Ironside alongside him as well. He's scored a few goals at this sort of level, certainly. It's going to be a throw which Molineux will take. It bounces on the edge of the penalty area. Farrell trying to turn and make some space for himself. He's a big lad, but he's just bundled away from it a little there by James Garner. And then a strong challenge comes in on Lewis Dobbin midway inside the Everton half. Free kick the way of the Blues.
That was a push, I think, by Farrell. It wasn't the challenge from Broadbent who took the ball away. It was just a little nudge from behind.
Pickford with the long ball forward, and just manages to find his opposite number, Ian Law, on the edge of his penalty area there. So took it very, very quickly there to Jordan Pickford, trying to get Everton forward. Good harassing there by Dobbin again on the right hand side as Doncaster have to go back and then play the long ball forward, and Godfrey is there with Farrell. The ball stuck between them for a moment, but when it does come down, it's Doncaster possession. Farrell again will make the turn. There's lots of space on this near side for Molineux if he can find him, but he still has the possession, and now he will play to this near side. Might be a bit short for him. Mikolenko comes in with a challenge, doesn't know where the ball is, breaks away as far as Molineux again. Carrying himself away from Mikolenko does really well. Then the cross takes a little deflection. Farrell will arrive, didn't really get ahead to it when perhaps he could have done better, and Everton get the ball away from danger. But Mikolenko there wasn't sure where the ball was in the first instance, and then in the end
he had two chances to win that, and he should have won it on both occasions. And I think that's an accusation that you can maybe level against him. Occasionally his defending isn't as robust as it should be. The ball out to Molineux from Farrell was under hit, and Mikolenko nailed him. Then it ends up being a soft 50-50. The ball pops out, Mikolenko doesn't know where it is. Molineux's put in another cross, and I've got to say, decent centre forward on the end of that. It's another good heading opportunity wasted by Doncaster.
Yeah, it's the second one they've wasted. Aluwu, the big central defender, missed out on one from across from Tommy Rowe a bit earlier as well, but he just didn't make a proper connection with the ball at all. But it's still Doncaster forcing Everton back, playing towards Farrell. The slay off by him, and wide to Maxwell on that far side, but trying to get his cross in early, but didn't quite get it right with his left foot. It's gone behind for a goal kick, but decent play by Doncaster.
Yeah, absolutely. To get into that crossing position, that was a really, really good opportunity to put the ball in. I think it was Jack Senior with his left foot sails over the bar. But the two crosses that have led to the heading opportunities, both from Molineux on this right hand side, and he's looking to be a problem for Everton at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's been out injured at the start of the season as Luke Molineux, but back in the starting lineup this evening. As Barry was saying, there's a real eye for a cross, and I'm sure Everton will need to be just careful about that. So Doncaster throw, it's deep inside their own half. We've had 16 minutes first half, still Doncaster 0, Everton 0. Elsewhere, Wimbledon a goal up at Chelsea, Blackburn 2-0 up at Harrogate, no goals yet, Notts Forest and Burnley, and Sheffield United against Lincoln City. We'll be right up to date with those scores throughout the evening here. And Ian Kennedy in the studio. Barry will stick around at the end as well. 0800 71 9333. Will give us a call. And, we'll just a reminder, it does go straight to penalties this evening as well. If it's level at the end of 90 minutes, I'm sure Everton and their fans will not be expecting that, but they've got to certainly dig in a little bit at the start of this game. It's going to be, the assistant didn't know which way to call that one. Eventually the referee made his mind up and said that's going to be an Everton throw, which Patterson takes. It's the ball back towards the half-way line with Michael Keane, Ben Godfrey, Onana on that far touchdown. That's the Everton right. Bit of space for Garner now. Mikalenko's inside the centre circle. He's got Danjuma down the left-hand touchline. Chance to head down the near touchline. He thought he was being obstructed, so did Sean Dyche, but referee Tom Rees will have none of it. And Farr will battle there with Michael Keane again. Keane comes out best in the end, and Garner has it. And then he's robbed of possession. And
just quickly, the one thing I would say, that I'm not quite sure where the referee normally operates, but I've watched a lot of conference and League Two games. Obviously I go and watch Wrexham, and what a Premier League footballer thinks is going to be a foul isn't always necessarily a foul in the conference or League Two.
Ball played in towards Danjuma, again a strong challenge in on him. It just breaks as far as Michael Keane. Mikalenko back as far as Keane again. He's under pressure from Ironside, but still gets it back towards his goalkeeper Jordan Pickford. And now Ben Godfrey will try and start things again for Everton. Well, they thought they got an easy ride this evening. That's not the case. Everton just need to stamp their authority, their quality on this game. Certainly haven't tested Ian Lawler and the Doncaster goal just yet. And there have been just a couple of narrow escapes for Everton. At the other end, on the free headers. Onana. It's a hopeful ball down this near touchline for Onana. That's from Onana. That's all it was.
See, I can't be doing with that. Onana's played the ball, so he's in the inside left position, just 10 yards inside their half. He's clipped it with the inside of his right foot, so it's going to curl away from Danjuma. It's going to curl the wrong way, and it's curled out for a throw in. Danjuma had no chance of getting it. Onana's waving his arms around at Danjuma as if to say, that's your fault. And it's not. It was a bad ball.
Throw for Doncaster. Taken down this near touchline. Michael Keane with a towering header. Then Danjuma with Takuri trying to get the ball forward there, looking for Shimiti, and then might break for Dobbin edge of the penalty area. And he had Patterson coming on his outside. He was trying to play the ball through to try and create an opportunity for Shimiti again, I think it was. Well, now Doncaster will go long. And
he's tried to back heel, but if the back heel had come off, it would have gone back into the three centre-backs, because there was that many players in about 10 yards of pitch. The ball was just a simple, straightforward ball out to Patterson. Everton had bodies up in the box. Patterson could have crossed it.
We were talking about that at Aston Villa, weren't we, about how they wouldn't play a ball unless they were certain it was the right ball to play, and would just keep the possession, so you keep the pressure on the opposition, and that's really important.
There's a time and a place to try things, but if there's a good pass on, and it's going to progress the team, you take it.
Onana tight to the near touchline. Under pressure, the ball's out for an Everton throw. Blackburn are coasting at Harrogate. They now lead by 3-0. That was a 7:45 kick-off this evening. 20 minutes gone here at the Eco Power Stadium. Still Doncaster 0, Everton 0, but Everton pressing forward. Michael Keane deep inside the Doncaster half, and then, couldn't play a simple ball to Mikalenko, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
That is a straightforward pass, I'm afraid. I know it's easy to say because that's the narrative at the moment, but they look like Michael Keane, we know, is struggling for confidence, and when you're struggling for confidence, you overthink things, you make easy things look difficult. We've seen that a couple of times, but throughout the team, I don't know, there's just poor decisions being made too often, poor passes.
Good turn on that far side by Dobbin, who's willing to run and head down that far touchline, but then he runs the ball out of play. Do you forgive it more in younger players where they're trying to impress and trying to do something, or do they need to learn pretty quickly if they're chosen in the first team?
Well, if you're in the first team, that suggests that you're good enough to be in the first team. And also there's another thing about young players. Some of the I was looking at some footage today of Alan Shearer. I played with Alan Shearer when he was 18, 19. And he was never a young player. He was just a player in our team.
Header forward by Doncaster. Mikolenko is underneath it. Strong challenge on this near side by Bailey, and now a chance for Shimiti to get in towards the edge of the penalty area.
I'm trying desperately not to be overly negative and critical, but I spoke before the... here we go.
There's Molineux down the right-hand side again, and Nana's come across to try and cut him out. Molineux, can he get the cross in? Sliding challenge by Anana, and that is going to be another corner on this near side. He's got one thing in his mind, Molineux, hasn't he, every time he picks up the ball.
Get to the byline, get the ball in the box. And he's a threat, and he's I'm not sure where Mikolenko was there, but Anana had to come across and put that ball out for a corner. But I was talking about when teams go out on nights like this, and sometimes everything just doesn't go right, nothing goes right, and this first 20-25 minutes there's not a lot going right for Everton, to be honest.
Well, the scoreline's still goalless. It's going to be Westbrook who's going to take the corner right hand side. This time it's a low one in towards the edge of the penalty. The shot comes in, it's over the crossbar. Well, that was a really worked piece off the training ground. Tommy Rowe, the captain, was the player who got on the end of it. Hit it left footed. It was drilled at him, certainly, so difficult to control, but it was a rising shot over the top of the crossbar. That was really well worked by Doncaster.
Really well worked. You say the ball was drilled at Rowe. It had to have a certain amount of pace, otherwise he's not going to get there. The mistake that Rowe's made, he's just got under it. The goal was there for him. You know, if he just keeps that a couple of foot lower, that's in the top corner. That's another really good chance. Rowe unmarked in the penalty area. He's not pulled it back to the edge of the box, by the way. It was a yard, a metre, 2 metres inside the penalty area.
Yeah, we've got 3 changes in defence for Everton this evening, but as you say, that's not an excuse for not picking up set pieces. It's concentration, yeah, you're right. Ball out of play on this near side for a Doncaster throw. Grant McCann will be really pleased with the way his team have started this one, and talk about Everton getting confidence in the Premier League. Well, he'll see this as a confidence booster perhaps for his side going into their next League 2 game at the weekend as well.
Well, you know, I commented on the fact that they've had tough fixtures. You commented on the fact that he's maybe still trying to mould his team and get them going. Well, you know, probably this is just a step in that process for him, and his players are doing really well. They do look organised. They look like they know what they're doing, I've got to say.
Yeah, a lot of work on the training ground, I'm sure it's been done already. Experienced manager Grant McCann.
They're certainly, again, that's an overhit pass from Zane Westbrook, but they're certainly picking up more loose balls in midfield than Everton are, and they're getting the ball into, particularly down their right hand side with Luke Molineux, they're getting the ball into better areas than Everton are.
Can they keep up this pace for the 90 minutes? I suppose that's always a question you ask with.
Well, you would expect Everton at some point. Oh my word, it's a man. He's trying to find Patterson, but he's got 30 yards to play that ball into, and he's driven it, and Patterson can't catch it. He can't keep it in, and his first reaction is to look towards the bench to say, what's Patterson doing? Well, he's not going to do anything with that.
Pickford outside his penalty area, he plays it to Ben Godfrey. Now with Patterson, first time ball forward by him. Shimiti is battling for the ball on halfway. He goes to the ground.
Looking for a free kick. Go back to what I said earlier.
Referee's not interested, is he?
So the thing is now for him and for Dan Juma, okay, is right, every time somebody touches me, I'm not going to get a free kick. So just get on with it, because you're not going to get it.
A strong challenge there came in. And Abdoulaye Doucouré, who's stayed on the ground there. Doucouré going in one direction, the Doncaster player was going the other way.
Well, I've seen that happen at every level. I've seen it happen at international level, Premier League level, where the referee sets his mark down in the early stages and players just don't pick up on it. You know, the referee's he's not made a mistake yet. You know, but the referee's saying, yeah, no, tonight, lads, that's not going to be a free kick. I'm sorry. So stop appealing for it and stop lying on the floor and roll it, just get on with the game.
Jordan Pickford there just came out to have a word with Anana actually while there was that break in play. Not quite so easy to get your messages about when you're the captain and you're a goalkeeper, is it, sort of thing, but a break in play gives you a chance perhaps just to say something.
Well, There should, yeah. I mean,
there should be other experienced players around.
There should be other experienced players out. So listen, next time you get the ball, just pass somebody in blue. Doesn't matter how simple it is, just keep possession.
Danjuma there was beaten by Molyneux. He's gone and he didn't go to ground there. He's kept going. He's done really well. And now, well, the referee's brought play back in the end there, where actually Molyneux had tricked his way past Danjuma, who was in a really good situation.
But he's apologised.
Yeah, the referee's apologised for it.
If the fans are booing, the referee's made a mistake. He held his hand and said, "I'm really sorry. I should have let that go for a couple of seconds. I didn't. I blew too quickly, but I've blown." Of course, once he's blown, the Everton players, if he can't carry on then.
Everton haven't picked Westbrook up from the free kick, and then the cross comes in.
Oh, here we go.
Good break down that far side, but can't quite take the ball with him in the first instance. And the ball's given away inside their own half, and now Westbrook again down this near side, trying to play it in low. It just take a deflection in the end off Michael Keane, but well, James Garner there lost possession when he shouldn't have done. Was it Dobbin?
I think it was Dobbin. He's got the ball on the right. Fantastic position. Everton, I give credit to Decore and Danjuma, Chimiti and Onana hurtling forward in support. Dobbin's had a poor touch. He's brought him infield, and then a 10-yard pass. He's missed a 10-yard pass and given the ball away with 3 or 4 Everton players committed and out the game.
Yeah, going in the wrong direction when they break.
Going in the wrong direction.
28 minutes gone. Doncaster 0, Everton 0. It's been there've been incidents in this so far, but not really inside that Doncaster penalties area so far. It's been the other end of the pitch where Doncaster have been threatening Everton. There's a throw on that far side. Taken short there, gets it back from Decore. Still Patterson trying to play in towards Chelsea in the edge of the penalty area, but
another ball given away.
Under pressure from behind, and he just didn't collect the ball when you would want him to. It's early days for him, of course. Molyneux again twisting and turning. His confidence will be high because he knows he's got the beating of Mikalenko down this near side.
If Garner's up against him, he's stuck to his task, and he's won the ball back. Good ball forward to Chimiti, who ends up fouling.
Yeah, he said his shirt was being tugged, didn't he? And he started to tug the Doncaster players.
It was a clear foul, and Jack Senior, he's pulled him back. He's all over him.
Free kick to Doncaster. They're trying to pass the ball around, Doncaster, certainly. They want to try and use the width. They want to try and play through the lines if they possibly can.
Well, Westbrook is just playing ahead of Everton's midfield in the space behind the striker and the furthest forward midfield player, and he's happy to have the ball.
He's showed the ball all the time, isn't he? Now they're coming down the left-hand side with Maxwell. Senior getting involved. Down that left-hand touchline. Done really well. He's got away from 2 Everton defenders, then chips the ball in. It's headed away by Mikalenko. Only going to break the edge of the penalty. The volley is blocked away. Then the shot will come in again, and towards his right-hand side. I think Pickford had it covered in the end, but the ball fizzed in. Broadbent, I think it was, with the shot from the edge of the penalty area. Jordan Pickford had it covered, but you were talking about second balls, and they picked up 2 of them on the edge of the penalty area.
Final shot was a decent strike in terms of pace on the ball, but Jordan Pickford was confident he was going wide. More worryingly was it James Maxwell on the left?
Gets on the left-hand side and links with Senior, doesn't he? Yeah.
Took on 2 players. Well, first of all, Dobbin lost possession too easily. He chases back. James Maxwell skips between Patson and Dobbin. Great cross in. Just misses. Just misses 2 Doncaster players. And then we get a headed clearance. They pick it up. Shot is blocked. Comes back. Another shot coming in. I mean, it's the Doncaster fans, the Doncaster players, everybody will be wondering why they're not in front.
Mikalenko down the near touchline, but doesn't find a blue shirt with it. This time Chelsea got an equaliser at home to Wimbledon. Still no goals. Forest and Burnley and Sheffield United and Lincoln. Blackburn 3-0 up at Harrogate. Here we're past the half-hour mark, and it's still Doncaster 0, Everton 0. But it was a boxing match so far. I think you'd be scoring the rounds Doncaster's way, wouldn't you, in the opening half an hour of this one, Barry?
Yes, we're not. We're nowhere near at the point where we're calling a decision, but I've got Doncaster clearly ahead. If we're approaching the the fifth round of
we'll go away from boxing, should we?
The fifth round, I'm going to have Doncaster 5 rounds up, to be honest.
Throw forward on this near touchline. Blackburn have got a fourth at Harrogate. No sign of a goal for Everton yet here tonight.
Oh dear.
Shamiti there just trying
standing on the ball,
get away from his marker, but didn't know where his feet or the ball was, and as Barry said, ended up standing on the ball. But it's gone off a Doncaster player and out for a throw on this near side, which Mikolenko will take. I feel Sean Dyche might like to have his players in at half time already and just have a chat to them about the way they're performing at the moment in this game. Michael Keane back as far as Jordan Pickford. Just know where his options are if he goes long, but it goes to Keane now with Mikolenko down the near touchline off the head of Olowu, the big centre half again. It's out for an Everton throw midway inside the Doncaster half on the left hand side, which Danjuma will leave for Mikolenko to take. Looking for a little bit of movement, not too much of that at the moment. Eventually has to go down the near touchline and a little foot in on Shamiti, then it's got out for a throw on this near side again. Close to the corner flag, midway between the edge of the penalty area and the corner flag, left hand side. Getting involved Doucouré, and then Mikolenko's done well to get to us one challenge, and then the strong cover just fizzes the ball onto the shins of Mikolenko, and it's out for a goal kick.
Did well to beat the first man. He got the ball back in a very tight spot right on the touchline, nutmegged the defender. Just couldn't quite get to the ball quick enough to get his cross on the covering defender. Came across, hit it against him, out for a goal kick, and Doncaster playing the way out of defence very nicely again.
Yeah, you said with Mikolenko, he seems a little bit more comfortable going forward perhaps than defending, and that was shown there, I think, with the way he managed to get to the dead ball line. Dobbin battling hard for the ball down that far side, but safety first, no problems by Doncaster get the ball out of play on that far side. And towards Doucouré. Ball played away by Onana to Mikolenko. Now a bit of space for Danjuma. Can he turn this time? The fullback's close to him and gets his body in the way, makes sure that he can't get past him there. Owen Bailey sticking tight, and that's what they're doing when the ball's played forward. There was a Doncaster defender right in the back of an Everton player at the moment.
Which is what
you should do. Yeah, it's what you should do. But I think Everton aren't expecting it. Sometimes that's putting them off a little bit, and that first touch isn't as good as it should be.
The last part of that sentence is absolutely true. The first touch hasn't been good enough. But if you're receiving the ball in the final third, you've got to expect pressure. You've got to expect somebody to be on top of you, trying to take it off you.
And a bit of good movement to make a bit of space for yourself as well, so perhaps you have got that extra yard to be able to turn or to take it past. Anyway, it's a free kick. Danjuma is over the ball. James Garner is there with him, but I think it's going to be Danjuma who's going to take it. A lot of movement inside the box. It's deep towards the far post. Still breaks inside the penalty area. Doucouré wants to turn. Now with Onana. Tried to switch it past his marker. It's a decent looking ball in. It's headed away inside the 6-yard box. Everton trying to force the possession inside the penalty area. It doesn't quite work out for them again. It's headed back in by Dobbin. Cleared away.
Well, it's definitely Everton's best little moment in the game. Nice little step over and cross from Onana. Credit to Doncaster for defending well.
Everton in possession. Can they take advantage of that bit of good pressure that Barry was describing there? It's just about 10 minutes to the break. Didn't be too much stoppage time in the first half. Tranmere last night, only 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half. I thought that might be a record for this season in all the games that have been played. Pickford, long ball forward by him. Down the near side is Danjuma. It's headed away, but again it's a midfielder for Doncaster who picks it up. Broadbent. Keane is across it.
No
chances. Down the touchline, and
that's good, Michael Keane. When you're struggling for confidence, as I was saying earlier, just do the simple thing. Just do the simple thing. He's defended. The lad was running behind him, mauling you again. So he's got to the ball, put the ball out and defend.
Get back in your shape again, and that's what Everton have done. Again, they'll switch play to Maxwell initially down that far side. Senior's gone ahead of him. Maxwell has got plenty of space and time for the cross to come in. And Molyneux's beyond the far post. It bounced awkwardly for him in the end. Couldn't control it. He wasn't quite sure whether to go and meet the ball or whether to let it bounce. He was all by himself.
Maxwell picks the ball up. Let's just let this passage of play.
Molyneux down this right hand side again. He's running inside the penalty. Drills it in low, and Keane's at the near post to clear the ball away from danger. Jamiti will try and win the ball there. Goes down. He thought he might have got a foul. Referee says no.
That's a classic example of what I was talking about earlier. He's got to be stronger than that. Similar build, the two men. I think Jamiti's he's taller, but neither of them are bulky blokes. He's not a massive bloke that he's up against. A loon.
But you're making the point way about the space Maxwell had for the cross in, didn't you?
Picks up the space. Just final third, 15-20 yards inside Everton's half. All the time in the world. Out of his feet, looks up, puts the ball into the far post. Molyneux's coming in from the right wing. He's got nothing but space. And yes, you're right, he couldn't make up his mind whether to wait for it to come to him or go and meet it. In the end, there should have been a diving header off. But he's in 20 yards.
Just not to the space that was there in the first place.
He could have ran 5 yards back and waited for the ball to come to him. He should have got to it on the half volley, but that's another chance.
Yeah, the clear chances. Everton goes with that corner a while ago that certainly caused some problems inside that Doncaster defence, but that's the best we've seen from them so far and haven't tested Ian Lawler. Pickford hasn't had a save to make yet, but they've had good opportunities where they should have finished better.
And I think that's probably the one area where Doncaster is the one area where Doncaster have let themselves down. The finishing, the decision making for that final decisive moment. First couple of minutes, although I'm thinking how he's not done better with that header.
I think it was a surprise for him. But, as you say, Barry, should have done better. Michael Keane now. Everton try and build. Ball with Mikolenko, who's in a very central position at the moment. Played to Patterson. He's got Dobbin outside of him, and then Dobbin went inside, and the ball went out of play.
I don't know if Sean Dyche has encouraged Mikolenko to
join in,
to take up that position. Michael Keane seems happy to come over and cover him when he does. It's not something I've seen Everton do previously, play that false left back who, like Zinchenko, was the first to do it, wasn't he? And he was absolutely fantastic at it. But anyway, he's back in his position now.
Maxwell, long ball forward, and Ironside does really well to control it and looks for Farley, who's behind him. Has to turn and has the possession, but he's still able to think about it, and then he decides to play it wide to Molyneux on this near side. He'll have to come back to retrieve it, and Everton have a bit of shape here. Now the fullback will join in down this near side, Owen Bailey, but the cross comes in. It's a decent one. It was a good defensive header by Godfrey, but again it's Molyneux, picks up a loose ball and drives on. This time Onana gets his body in the way to clear the ball forward, and then, well, Dobbin was almost away, but an outstretched boot from Doncaster wins the ball back, and they'll try and come forward again. Onana there, and obstruction by Onana, says the referee. He can't believe it. It's going to be a free kick Doncaster's way.
That cross just going back, rewinding 30 seconds. That cross from Molyneux as he drifted onto his left foot, that was exactly the same as the one in the second minute. Everton were in a better shape this time, but still good pressure and good positions from Doncaster. Molyneux actually had an overlap on. He could have gone outside or inside on that occasion.
I think he fancies this one tonight, does Molyneux. If he's on the ball, he wants to try and make sure he does something with it, doesn't he?
His teammates do as well, if you look.
Everton bit of sleep on the edge of the penalty area. The flag went up rather late in the end, so whether he was standing behind the Everton line and then came back to collect the ball, but he had a bit of space there, did Tommy Rowe, as he got behind that Everton defence on that occasion, but the flag has gone up for offside.
Take away the offside, it's still another very, very good cross coming into the box, which, the Doncaster player got his head in it, knowing that the player was going to come back, but good pressure again, and a nice little free kick routine. Obviously the striker mistimed his run.
Mikolenko drives forward, plays it to his right there to Garner. Garner has Patterson outside of him. Now the cross comes in, but headed away at the penalty spot. Might break on the edge of the penalty for Mikolenko. He can't control it. Won back by Onana, who goes to ground. No fouls as the referee, but Everton still have the possession with Danjuma. Left edge of the penalty area. In towards Doucouré. Danjuma goes on the angle. Goes well wide of the far post in the end. That was good between Danjuma and Doucouré, but no finish in the end. He was on the angle, but he was right in on goal, and his shot's going to cross the 6-yard box and ends up nearer the corner flag.
I thought the chance had gone. Danjuma, just a little bit of fancy footwork. his first pass was deflected back to him. The little one too with Decore, he's in behind. He's flashed his shot left-footed, so it's always going away from the far post.
Best chance so far.
Well, the best bit of attacking play, the best chance. I think it's the first attempt on goal of any note. I can't think of another one. Yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That I'm going to say that was a difficult chance, especially as he's taken it with his left foot. The angle was tight, but he's done well to get in there.
Yeah, we've seen sparks from Danjuma already in his Everton career. He's said a little bit about him. Keen gets his head on the ball, but it just goes out of play on this near side. It's going to be a Doncaster throw. 42 minutes gone here. Doncaster Rovers 0, Everton 0 still. Ball with Molineux again on this near touchline with Mikalenko, still with Molineux. Swiss one way, then the other. He doesn't mind left or right footed. He'll try and turn the crosses in. He's still trying to go down this near touchline, and Mikalenko just stands his ground.
He's full of it. He's full of it. Everton double it up in Onana. He's come back to help Mikalenko, which is just as well, because I think if he was left to his own devices, as he's turning in one way, then the other, and as you say, he's happy to go inside, which Mikalenko does not like.
So again, going with Molineux on this near side, and play down the near touchline. It's a little bit tight, but then the run comes in field there from Broadbent, and it's hacked away from danger in the end by Everton. And that's runners, isn't it, making it? I mean, you can play ball behind defenders.
Tommy Rowe was in then, but he just stopped. I don't know if maybe he had a shout from Broadbent who was running in behind him, but you're right. Midfielder, good positive run into the box, nearly got on the end of that.
Doncaster in possession on the halfway line. Not really oppressed by Everton. They're just trying to sit in their shape again. Then the long ball forward. Ironside is trying to get between two defenders. Chests the ball down inside the penalty area. Mikalenko gets a foot to it. Breaks as far as Molineux again. Right edge of the penalty area. Thought he could curl it. Breaks away on that far side. Inside the penalty area. Back as far as Maxwell again. Cross deep towards the far post. Mikalenko isn't quite sure what's behind him. And it's gone behind for a corner.
Ball comes, long ball forward. Striker brings it down his chest. Everton defender get a toe to it. Doncaster pick it up. Shot on goal blocked. Doncaster pick up the ball. Nice little set up for Maxwell. This time his cross was too deep, but Mikalenko not sure of his geography. I think he could have let it run, but he's put it out for a corner,
which Molineux takes short as far as Westbrook. Rose on the edge of the penalty area again. Kills it in left footed. Header comes in, and it's in the back of the net. And Doncaster have themselves a lead right at the end of this first half. The short corner was taken. Again, a really good ball in by Tommy Rowe. And well, you have to say, on the balance of play in this first half, it's not that big a surprise, because it's Doncaster Rovers 1, it's Everton 0, and Joe Ironside is the man who got his head to that ball ahead of Pickford. No mistake, 1-0 to Doncaster.
That's been coming from the first minute. Once again, not a complicated corner routine. Short corner, all the time in the world. Ball to the edge of the box, nobody near him, nobody put him under pressure. Lovely little left-footed cross, just dinked in. Free header, 6-yard box, middle of the goal. That's what Owunu should have done in the second minute.
But this time it was the striker on the end of it, Ironside. He knew exactly what to do, didn't he?
Nice little touch. Pickford can't commit himself because it can go one way. It might even have gone in if Pickford hadn't committed. If Ironside had missed it, it might possibly have gone in that far post anyway. So Pickford couldn't do anything on this occasion. I'm not even sure Pickford could have come for the cross, because he's only crossing it from... He's inside the width of the penalty area, 3 or 4 yards outside the penalty area. That ball was flat, it's only travelled a short distance. I can't give it... There's no blame laid at Pickford's goal there. A, short corner, no pressure.
No.
B, the ball back to Rowe, no pressure. All the time in the world to pick the cross. And then there was 3 or 4 lads, I think any one of them could have put it in.
2 minutes of stoppage time we have at the end of this first half. That goal coming just before the end of the opening 45.
Sean Dyche has got serious work to do at half time.
Pickford out of his goal there, plays it away on that far side, and Patterson has it wide on that right hand touchline. It's Doncaster lead by goal to nil. Can they get something back on the into this first time. The shot comes in. That's a good save with his feet there from Onana. It's a decent layoff by Chimiti then. And a good save by Lawler. That's as close as Everton have come in the first half. And now it's Molyneux down the other end who wants to have another run at Mikalenko. But that was good from Everton.
It involved Decore again. Good on this occasion, better centre forward play, holding the ball up, laying it back, and then the shot on goal. It's hard, it's low, it's on target. Keeper's made a good save.
Well, that was better from Everton certainly, and Danjuma had the chance, didn't he, before Doncaster got their opening goal as well. So a couple of opportunities Everton's way as the half has gone on, but it doesn't alter the fact that when Doncaster come forward, they're certainly upsetting the Everton defence, and Michael Keane and Mikalenko not very happy there, but it's going to be a free kick their way. Westbrook was forcing the foul on this near side, so we're into the second minute of stoppage time. There may just be time for this free kick to be taken here. But that was a good save by Lawler from Onana. A good set-up play by Decore, as Barry Holm was saying, but now they've got a free kick. It's 4 or 5 yards in from the corner flag on this near side. It's taken short again towards Westbrook. And then it goes back to Molyneux again. Now Westbrook are drilling in low this time, and the shot comes in and back. Pickford has to make a save. Again, there's problems inside the penalty area. And was there a handball? Well, we haven't got VAR this evening anyway. The half-time whistle has gone, but you can tell from the reaction of the Doncaster fans what they thought about the first half, Barry.
I can't believe that Everton haven't sorted this out. Last minute, the free kick is near the corner flag, so it's effectively a corner. 2-yard pass, one man goes out, so the two, hey, surprise, surprise, the two play around him. Ball comes into the penalty area, exactly the same place as it came to Rowe, I think it was. Yes. Fades it with his left foot. This time he keeps it below the bar. Pickford's got to make a fantastic save. Exactly the same routine that they've seen once already. It's mind-boggling.
I mean, Everton didn't start that half very well. They missed the start, and the jitters were there in the very first minute between Keane and Pickford, wasn't it?
But there's nobody on there that's gone, right,
let's sort this.
Do this. You do this. When they get a corner or a free kick, you get out there. I'll sort this out in here. They're killing us every time they get a free kick on this right hand side, corner kick, free kick. We're leaving somebody 2v1. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, in midfield, the game has passed them by a little bit, hasn't it? I mean, Decore, I think, has tried to link play. Certainly, he's been involved. Onana had that chance at the end, then the angle where he brought a good save out of the goalkeeper, certainly. But really, that flow through midfield, through to attack and whatever, it's just not been there tonight.
The play through midfield has been that way, and I'm indicating to our right. No.
Oh, just backwards.
Doncaster. No, Doncaster have played through midfield.
Yes.
They've used their wingers, stroke wing backs in particular, on the right hand side. The passing's been better. Their regaining of possession, their keeping of possession has been better. And their crossing's been better. Not that Everton have had many crossing opportunities. The only part of Doncaster's game that's let them down tonight is the finishing.
And then at 0-0, of course, Danjuma had that opportunity, didn't he, when he played the 1-2 with Decore. And if they'd scored then, that would have changed the complexion of the game. There's no doubt about it.
If Everton, in this game, if Everton get the first goal, it completely, you would hope and assume, it completely changed the complexion of the game. All of a sudden, the Everton players start to look a little bit like Premier League players. They stop giving the ball away. They play with a bit more composure. If they get the next goal, you would hope that the same would be true. But Doncaster would not have wanted half-time to come, because Everton can't be that bad in the second half.
You looked at the starting lineup for Everton tonight. Yes, there's 4 changes, but you said, that could be a starting lineup in the Premier League. From the squad they have at the moment.
Well, a couple of injuries, a couple of suspensions in 10 games' time. That's Everton's best team, potentially.
Keane and Godfrey have played before, haven't they? The half of the defence. Mikalenko played left back a lot last season.
How many games have Mikalenko, Godfrey, Keane, Patterson played? Not necessarily together in that formation, but there's a lot of games in Everton shirt there between them. Two new strikers they're on there. Garner's sort of established himself as a midfielder, as is Decore. Onana also is a regular first team choice. Lewis Dobbin is the one that you would say, okay, well, this is an opportunity for him to show what he can do at senior football level. But that's not a million miles away from the.
And given what you've seen from the setup in the first, we've seen in the setup the way Everton have set themselves up in the first half, and as you say, Doncaster have been able to play through them. They've been able to play wide. What do they have to do differently? What do they have to change, perhaps in that midfield and the way in which it's working? Do you need somebody off the bench? Do you need Garner Gay on the pitch to do it or not?
I've written down a team that, on paper, that looks a balanced team. I keep saying this. I'm not sure what Onana is. For me, I don't know if he's holding. I think he's a holding midfielder today. Garner and Decore sort of in advance. When we lose possession, I'm guessing Danjuma and Dobbin are expected to drop in. But nobody, there's just gaps in midfield all the time. And Doncaster players are in them. And their passing has been better. That's the other thing. There's no excuse for. I don't know what the stats would be. It would be interesting to see how many times Everton have played a pass, not under pressure, not a pass that's going to make a chance. You can forgive that if a player is losing possession, trying to make a chance. You say, hey, okay, the decision might not have been right, but I can see what you're doing. But if you're just playing a pass, as Onana has done on numerous occasions, from the centre circle to the right touchline, and you hit it 10 yards in front of the player, well, that's a basic skill. And Everton have committed that offence tonight of not completing simple passes too often.
I'm sure Sean Dyche was hoping they were going to get into half-time at 0-0, but in the end, Doncaster have got themselves a lead at the break here. It's Joe Ironside who's headed in that cross from Tommy Rowe again. Everton just not sharp enough. Concentration missing at a short corner on the right-hand side of the pitch, and this time Ironside with the finish to give Doncaster Rovers a lead here at half-time. Plenty to do for Everton in the second half, and certainly need to be much better half-time at the Eco Power Stadium. It's Doncaster Rovers 1, Everton 0.
Email radio.merseyside.sport@bbc.co.uk
or follow us at BBC Mersey Sport.
Everton with work to do in the second half is absolutely right. They trail by 1-0 at half-time. The second half on the way. Phone lines will be open if you want to give us a call, and myself and Barry Horn will be here. 0800 731 9333. Other games being played tonight. Let's get a roundup. Chris Coughlin.
Well, all of these second halves have just started the other games in the EFL Cup second round. It's currently Chelsea 1, AFC Wimbledon 1 at Stamford Bridge. A pair of penalties there for those two sides. James Tilley for Wimbledon opened the scoring before Noni Madueke equalised for Chelsea in first half stoppage time. Blackburn are well on their way to the third round. They're 4-0 up away at Harrogate, and it's 0-0 between Nottingham Forest and Burnley. Same score between Sheffield United and Lincoln City.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Well, let's try and lighten the mood, at least for a few minutes, because we like to dip into the archives now and again. And tonight we go back 14 years on a day that Everton left it late at Goodison Park. The Blues came from behind to beat Wigan Athletic, with Leighton Baines scoring a 93rd minute winner.
BBC Radio Merseyside Sport on this day.
Zogbia runs away towards his right-hand side. Melkert goes on. Now with Zogbia on his favoured left foot. Now the cross comes in. It's a good one. On the far post is Sharner, and Sharner has forced it in. Good play down the right-hand side by Wigan, and eventually Zogbia on his favoured left foot. It was a good cross in beyond the far post. And Paul Sharner, who scored a couple of goals here for Wigan against Everton a few years ago, has scored again, this time at the Gladys Street end. 11 minutes gone in the second half. 5 blue shirts inside the penalty area. A couple lurking on the edge as well. Baines with a cross in. It's a good one. Headed down, it's the equaliser. Everton have got the equaliser. And it's Louis Sahar, is it, who's got on the end of it. The cross came in from Baines from this near side, and there were plenty of players inside the penalty area. Louis Saha was one of them, just pulled away from his marker. Little downward header from no more than 4 yards. Louis Saha has put Everton back on level terms here. It's Everton 1, Wigan 1. Baines will take the corner again, away on that left-hand side. Surely this pressure's going to tell for Everton. Beyond the far post, Fellaini with the header across the 6-yard box. Powerful header away by Melchior. Everton trying to keep the ball back in there. Away by Figueroa. Now a chance for them to break. It's 4 against 2, 5 against 2 now. As Wigan break forward, real opportunity. Inside the penalty area, Sinclair is there. Shot comes off the feet of Tim Howard, and Everton get away with it. Tim Cahill, still chance for Everton. 4 towards Joe. Boyce is being dragged across with him. Joe goes on. He's done well inside the penalty area. Still goes down inside the box. Is that a penalty? Yes, it is. Everton have a penalty in added time. Joe got the wrong side of Emerson Boyce. The Wigan players will remonstrate with Lee Prowett, but he's not going to change his mind. Leighton Baines, can he score the penalty and get the 3 points? Yes, he can. Drills it into the roof of the net. And against his former club, Leighton Baines has given Everton their first Premier League win of the season. Deep in added time here. It's Everton 2, Wigan Athletic 1.
Well, Leighton, a penalty kick in added time against your former side. A lot of pressure on it. Very relieved.
Yeah, very much so. I think, in those kind of situations, you just want to see the ball hit the back of the net. So, I was very happy to see that happen.
And not just the penalty, but your corner as well for Louis' goal.
Yeah, we had a lot of corners today, and I'll say some good, some bad, but luckily enough, Louis got on the end of one of them and put it in, so, that was vital as well.
I felt we did deserve it, but sometimes in football you don't always get what you deserve, and for a while I thought maybe we're not even going to get a point when they had a break with a couple of minutes to go. I thought, oh, here we go. But the players kept doing what we asked. I thought we had control of the game in the first half, made 1 or 2 opportunities, not enough. But generally I thought there was an improvement in our play. We just didn't really have that devilment in the final third.
BBC Radio Merseyside Sport on this day.
And just some transfer news emerging. Liverpool in discussions, it seems, with Bayern Munich about the possibility of signing midfielder Ryan Gravenberch from the German champions. He joined Bayern from Ajax last summer, struggled for first-team football. Liverpool have been linked with him for most of the summer. Of course, it remains to be seen if a deal can be reached. It's Radio Merseyside Sport on this Wednesday evening. Everton in trouble at Doncaster.
Inside his own penalty area, he's made a mistake and loses possession, and the ball's hacked away by Everton. Well, Michael Keane and Jordan Pickford really get themselves in a bit of a mess, and Everton really fortunate that it's only a corner. Short corner taken by Doncaster on this near side. Played back as far as Tommy Rowe. Their captain's curled in, and then, well, if he's onside, that was an opportunity because he didn't make the most of it. He jumped in front of the goalkeeper in the end. That was the big defender, Aluru, got there really, and the flag did not go up. So Rowe's ball in, and well, he just didn't make any real contact. Well, in the end, took it away from goal. It was a defender's header rather than an attacker's header, wasn't it?
He did make contact, but listen, I was no great head of the ball, but I would have scored that. That should be 1-0.
The scoreline still goalless. It's going to be Westbrook who's going to take the corner right hand side. This time it's a low one in towards the edge of the penalty. The shot comes in, so the crossbar. Well, that was a really worked piece off the training ground. Tommy Rowe, the captain, was the player who got on the end of it. Hit it left-footed. It was drilled at him, certainly, so difficult to control, but it was a rising shot over the top of the crossbar. That was really well worked by Doncaster. Mikolenko drives forward, plays it to his right there to Garner. Garner has Patterson outside of it. Now the cross comes in, but headed away at the penalty spot. Might break on the edge of the penalty for Mikolenko. He can't control it. Won back by Onana, who goes to ground. No fouls as the referee, but Everton still have the possession with Danjuma. Left edge of the penalty area. In towards Doucouré. Danjuma goes on the angle. Goes well wide of the far post in the end. That was good between Danjuma and Doucouré, but no finish in the end. He was on the angle, but he was right in on goal, and his shot's going to cross the 6-yard box and ends up nearer the corner flag. Molyneux takes short as far as Westbrook. Rose on the edge of the penalty area again. Kills it in left footed. Header comes in, and it's in the back of the net. And Doncaster have themselves a lead right at the end of this first half. The short corner was taken. Again, a really good ball in by Tommy Rowe. And well, you have to say, on the balance of play in this first half, it's not that big a surprise because it's Doncaster Rovers 1, It's Everton 0, and Joe Ironside is the man who got his head to that ball ahead of Pickford. No mistake. Can they get something back on the edge of this first half? The shot comes in. That's a good save with his feet there from Onana. It's a decent layoff by Chimiti then. And a good save by Lawler. That's as close as Everton have come in the first half. And then it goes back to Molineux again. Now Westbrook are drilling in low this time. And the shot comes in and back. Pickford has to make a save. Again, there's problems inside the penalty area. Corner.
Taken by Dwight McNeil, high towards Onana. Header from Doncaster! 1-0! Coleman up against Kopp. Can the Everton captain get there first? He can. Has gone! Seamus Coleman has whipped it across and he's fooled everybody! Dwight McNeil, edge of the penalty area. Shot! Goal! Yes! Early doors! Dwight McNeil has given Everton the perfect start. Giving shot. Oh! Abdoulaye Doucouré! A goal from the goal!
BBC Radio Merseyside.
Well, let's see if Everton can sort it out in the second half at Doncaster. They trail by 1-0. Let's rejoin our commentary team of Barry Horn and Derek Jones.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, the Doncaster players are out already, so obviously Grant McCann didn't have too much to say to them at half time. Probably just do the same, fellas, but we've not seen Everton arrive yet.
No, that's I'm going to say that's probably the easiest team talk that Grant McCann or any man has ever had to give. Except, of course, it is always difficult when you're so dominant in a 45 minutes like that. Everton can't be that bad again, and Doncaster have got to be as good again, if that makes sense. The one thing that Grant McCann will be saying, and there's nothing you can do about it now, but just sharpen it in front of goal, and you can see this game over the line, because they've made considerably more opportunities than their Premiership opponents, and no surprise, I didn't predict what they would be, but no surprise, there's
three subs
being made.
Better is on for
Chimiti's off, Beto's coming on, probably not in the circumstances that Sean Dyche would have really wanted. Patterson's off, Young's on.
Patterson off and Young on.
So that'll be, I'm guessing,
Idrissa Gana Gueye has come on. And just have a look who's...
I missed the final one.
Yeah, just want to see who else is missing from the Everton lineup. We'll just have a quick check. Is it Lewis Dobbin who's come off as well?
Yeah, James Garner is going to right back.
Yep.
Ashley Young is playing in front of him on the right of a midfield. Gana Gueye's gone exactly where you would expect him to go. Centre mid. And Better's gone up front.
Better's gone up front. Yep.
So
Dobbin.
So Patterson's off. Garner's taking his place at right back for the time. That's where they've started anyway. And he's played there before, of course, just with some degree of success. Better up front, Ashley Young on the right, and just trying to work out if he's going to play more as a right attacker or a right midfielder. Well, I suppose Sean Dyche has asked him to do both.
Well, they need to be bold, don't they?
Minutes.
Try and get Doncaster on the back foot in the second half, which they didn't really manage to do.
Yeah, there's your midfield three there. Doucouré and Gueye ahead of Onana, Ashley Young on the right, and Danjuma on the left.
Free kick there by Godfrey for the challenge on this near side on no foul. So it's a free kick Doncaster's way. Well, perhaps the one thing Grant McCann will have said, sort of expect a storm perhaps at the start of the second half, expect a reaction from Everton after
Absolutely.
a team talk.
Yeah.
It's Doncaster trying to get away down the left-hand side. The cross comes edge of the penalty area, but Bernardo just got back in time then. Then it's helped on by Ashley Young towards Beto. He's trying to hold up his man there, but the free kick has gone Everton's way this time. Well, he didn't go to ground there, Beto, did he?
No, he was strong. Nice, lovely little ball around the corner from Young, I've got to say, into the path of Beto. Now, again, it's easy to say, but I'm not sure that anyone else who's playing up front, other than Calvert-Lewin, like Chimiti or Danjuma, would have read that. Beto's read it. He's held the ball up, and he's moved us up the pitch. But lovely little ball around the corner from Young.
Doncaster trying to put pressure on Versagan again. It worked as well because the ball ended up near the Everton corner flag, and Keane sends the ball forward. Little thick header on there, and then Beto tries to lay the ball off towards Doucouré. There's a Doncaster player down behind, but good play there, won back by Everton again. It's wide to this near side, picked up by Ashley Young. The cross comes in, it's a decent looking one, and full stretch there was the Doncaster defender, and then Beto commits the foul inside the box. That's going to be a free kick.
I'm going to let him off with that because he's brought a positivity to the team already. Just a little bit over eager there to get to the ball instead of keeping the ball live, keeping pressure on the defender. He's clearly pushed him over in the penalty area. But Beto and Ashley Young have made a big difference already.
Just 3 minutes gone second half. Doncaster Rovers leading by 1-0 against Everton. Joe Ironside the goal scorer. Sneaky replays, having a hint of offside about it, but that doesn't worry. Ironside now as he goes inside the penalty area again. Ironside tries to get the cross in. Garner is back and gets his body in the way, and it's behind for a Doncaster corner.
It's twice down this left-hand side where Everton have sort of had possession, but not good possession. But they've failed to clear, or they've played the clearance or the pass against the Doncaster player, and the ball's popped out the other side, and Doncaster have been in a good position both occasions down the left-hand side. So are they going to take a short corner again? Yes, they are.
Towards the edge of the penalty area, Rowe. Now with Money back as far as Broadbent this time. Broadbent sets himself, the shot comes in, and Pickford has to make the save.
Too much time. Yes, it's an easy save for Pickford, but Everton don't know that.
No.
Before the lad hits the shot. Again, nice. It was a nice little corner we've seen, but nothing difficult. Just Everton lacking in numbers.
Yeah, it's the concentration you're talking about. You know where their players are setting themselves up. You just got to make sure you cover those dangers.
And then when the ball goes back for the shot, nobody comes out to close him down. He takes a touch, gets it out of his feet, gets his head up, has a look at the goal, and the shot in the end, fortunately, was mishit.
Everton in possession, but it's deep inside their own half of those half-time subs. Sagana Gay, Ashley Young, and Beto on. Jamuti, Dobbin, and Patterson, the players who've gone off. Garner with the ball forward. Beto plays the ball off, looks for Doucouré, still with Beto, gets it wide to that far side. Little chip ball in by Danjuma beyond the far post. It's headed down and broken away in the end, but that was better by Everton. The Ironside will just put Michael Keane under a bit of pressure here, and then Jordan Pickford can clear the ball away safely too.
I don't think Ashley Young will mind me saying heading's not one of his strong points. That was a nice move from Everton. Beto got a little look in the middle of it. He got a ricochet, but then he goes out wide. Good cross in, and Ashley Young was in a good position. And you know what? I think he was caught in two minds whether to go for goal or whether to try and set up Beto, and he just did exactly half and half of each in the end. But much better from Everton.
So Doncaster will be tested now, the League Two side. Bottom of the table in League Two. Everton bottom of the table in the Premier League. Blues fans don't need reminding that, I'm sure, but a big game against Sheffield United coming up for the weekend. But Beto has started well in his Everton career in the second half. He just had time to with his teammates, really. Maxwell drills the ball forward, and eventually the ball just will roll into the penalty area. Jordan Pickford can pick it up and roll it out to James Garner in the right back roll in the second half. In towards Beto. So a neat layoff there looking for Ashley Young. Strong challenge though coming in from Senior. And now Everton again will try and stretch Doncaster. Ball doesn't find Danjuma though. And it's wide to the right hand side. Again, they played neat little triangle there, and Molyneux was trying to get down that fast touchline, but good foot in, and Everton can bring the ball away with Onana. Wide to Danjuma down the left-hand touchline. Danjuma faced by his fullback, wished the cross in early, but that's gone across everybody. This time there was nobody at the far post, and Ashley Young can't keep the ball in play.
The frustrating thing there is that's probably Everton's best passing move. Good ball out on this occasion from Onana, finds Danjuma. He's made good progress down the wing, but he's crossed it too early. It's a good cross, but there's nobody in the box. He needed there just to have the vision to realise, hang on a minute, I'm on my own here. Maybe check back onto his right foot, buy a couple of seconds for people to get up in support.
Everton, who had 55% of the possession in the first half, but Doncaster had 9 shots, 3 on target. Everton 2 shots, just 1 on target. Need that 1 on target to put them back in level terms here as Beto tries to get beyond Alou and does well, and then goes in with a challenge on the edge of the penalty area, and the referee's saying that's enthusiasm. He's left the Doncaster player in a heat, but he's looking to make an impression, Beto, since he came on.
To be honest, we heard, didn't we, from I didn't catch his name, the Italian.
Yeah, Adam Suze, I think was one.
And he said, well, a lot of what he said was made me think, oh dear, what have we bought? And a lot of what he said was like, all right, I'm really excited. But he did say he was raw, so he was a little unconventional, a little gangly, not polished, and we've seen that, and I like it.
Yeah, well, you'd take that. He's going to unsettle defenders, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah. He's having a go.
Blackburn leading 6-0 at Harrogate now. We're going to be happy when that game finishes. Long ball forward by Doncaster, a little header on there by Farl, and Mikalenko back covering in the left back position. Chip ball forward by him, flies off the head there of Broadbent, and eventually it's hacked out of play on that far side for an Everton throw. A little bit more to enthuse about if you're an Everton fan in the second half so far. We've had 54 minutes, it's still Doncaster 1, Everton 0. Full exclusive local radio commentary here on BBC Radio Merseyside. Every Everton game you'll hear on the station this season. Derek Jones in the chair tonight with Barry Hall alongside of me.
See, again, Doncaster now starting to... Doncaster have adjusted to Beto. They've realised what he's bringing to the table. They've realised what Everton are going to try and do. So on that occasion, it was... I think it was Westbourne again, who's just playing 5 yards closer to him. So if his touch isn't perfect, he's in, nicks off his toes.
A bit of space for him down the right hand touchline, just inside his own half. Sean Dyche waving his arms around there, looking for something. Ashley Young, he's got his back to go on this near side. He's under a lot of pressure there from Senior, and eventually the ball goes out of play for a Doncaster throw. But I thought they were so good in the first half, weren't they? Really harrying Everton and making it difficult for them to pass through.
Yes, but that's a minimum that you expect from your opponents. Yes. And you should be able to pass the ball 5 yards under pressure.
Farl there, the ball might break now beyond the defence. Now a chance for Doncaster as well. Played back in towards the... and Farl is there, just got his body... It's still dangerous, still isn't over. It's Michael Keane who just got his body in the way as Farl was just pulling the trigger.
I think the first was Mikalenko, wasn't it?
It's not over just yet.
Whoever it was, that was a fabulous block.
Molyneux, now the deep cross from the far side towards the far post. Pickford comes, doesn't get anything to first time, then it's headed goalwards. Pickford can claim it in the end, but
Everton survived.
Panic stations just.
I'm not sure the lights here are fabulous, are they? I couldn't make out. I thought that was Mikalenko with the first block, and somebody else got a second block. The first one was absolutely fantastic because that was a great chance, a good strike, and Pickford was not in position, I don't think. And that came from an Everton mistake again, 20 yards out, a little bit of mix-up, but Doncaster in behind. I thought he'd overrun it, but he's cut a fantastic ball back, right on the byline, and they've had a couple more attempts on goal.
Well, encourage Doncaster as well, so even though they've been to defend a bit more in this second half so far, they can still cause problems. Ashley Young and Dan Juma on that far side try to play the ball forward. It's won there by Anana, and then they'll try and stop it going behind for a corner if they possibly can. I'm not so sure whether they did it or not. It is going to be a throw tight to the corner flag, so even though they were chasing back, and let's not concede a corner.
That's an interesting one actually, because that ball hit the corner flag as it was going out. So referees, I'm not sure how he's decided to throw in. It was like perfectly, for me it was 50-50, could have given either.
Everton have taken it then, they've got the ball with Garner Gay. Carries the ball forward. Young's just pulled away towards the edge of the penalty area. Garner's outside of him, but he comes back to Ben Godfrey. Looks to his left hand side to Mikalenko. Opens his body and curls the cross in, but that's too close to goalkeeper Lawler. That's an easy catch for him. And wants to move the ball quickly, but he's calmed himself down. Everton will try and press. Ball with Maxwell. And played on this near side to Westbrook. trying to play their way out of trouble there, Doncaster, and the challenge came in there from Ashley Young, and it's been penalised. It's going to be a free kick Doncaster Rovers way.
Better pressing from Everton. Doncaster still trying to play their way out. I'm not absolutely certain that was.
In fact, he's given a throw in the end.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a free kick. It was Onana that slid in. I think Onana was complaining because he felt he played it onto the Doncaster player, so he should have had the throw.
Ashley Young there encouraging the players to push forward and really press Everton.
Ashley Young, since he came on, as soon as he came on, was starting to point to people. You go there. Just giving a little bit of guidance.
Yeah, you were talking about leaders in the first half, weren't you? Somebody's really thrown them out and say something. Yeah. Maxwell's throw down the near touch line. Godfrey is there. Ball out of play, and that's going to be another Doncaster throw. They've made about 20 yards down this near touch line. Maxwell it is who will take it again. Lifted forward by Broadbent. Cross comes in from the left hand side. There's no, the flag had gone up already. Thought everybody had stopped still. That's why the flag had gone up, and that's going to be a free kick Everton's way. They take it quickly. Garner comes forward, trying to drill the ball forward there, but there's a Doncaster body in the way. Now Molyneux in a much more central position there, trying to run forward. Didn't quite get there. But Everton have the possession. Keane plays the ball forward, and I think it was meant for Doucouré, but it didn't reach him. But the clearance from Olowo only as far as James Garner. Now with Young, Gay. Garner's on the overlap down this near side. Defender comes across to try and clear the danger. It bounces off Garner. It's still not cleared from danger. James Garner has done well down the dead ball line. It took Olowo to pull across in the end and hack the ball clear for an Everton throw.
There's a lot more activity in Doncaster's final third than there was in the first half.
Everton throw on this near side. That's the Everton right. Ashley Young is over the ball. He's going to show for this one. He's left it in the end for James Garner to take. Garner. Doucouré's come short forward. Onana behind it. That's where the ball goes now. Onana. To Idrissa Gana Gay. They're back on the halfway line now with Ben Godfrey. Godfrey carries the ball and then in towards Garner. Oh, really tight down this near touch line. Tries to play the clever flick to Ashley Young. Didn't work out. It's a Doncaster throw.
It wasn't a fabulous ball, so we've got to say. He was on the touchline with a man tight to him. Wasn't a great deal he could do there. The best he could hope for really was to get a throw in.
As we head towards the hour mark here. Much better by Everton in the opening 15 minutes of the second half, but they still trail Doncaster by 1-0. Ball out of play. Martin Candice gives it back to James Maxwell. Had a good first half, the number 3. He will take the throw. Down the near touch line. Godfrey rises above Senior, and it's out for a throw, which Maxwell will take. Maxwell looking for the options ahead of him. The
Doncaster fans are singing against Sackling on, Sean Dyche. What water for Duck's back. But I'm laughing at the steward in front of me. He was finding it absolutely hilarious.
Ball with Onana, ball breaks away, and it's going to be a free kick Everton's way this time. He's doing a lot of arm waving, Sean Dyche. He wants them to push the pace up a little bit and move the ball a little bit quicker. I think what he's trying to get them to do.
No, he's wanting Danjuma to change position. He's swapping with Ashley Young. Ashley Young's obviously got the message because he's on this side, but Danjuma didn't.
There's the cross here now. Blackburn have hit 8 at Harrogate. They lead 8-0 there. Still one apiece. Chelsea now 2-1 up at home to Wimbledon. From a goal behind in that one. There's still no news of any goals, I don't think, between Forest and Burnley and Sheffield United and Lincoln. Danjuma, they're trying to get him away down this near side, ambitious, but too much pace on the pass.
Ambitious, but that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. Michael Keane has seen the space in behind, and he's given the ball away, trying to get Everton in behind. They're in a really, really good position. It's a high-risk pass. He doesn't get it right to the centre back. He overhits it. And so I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I can see what you're trying to do there.
And Doncaster will see it as well, and they just adjust their defensive line a little bit as well. So, yeah, you're making them think a bit more in this second half. Now Maxwell's got the space in front of him to run forward. Drills the ball in towards Fall. Good control by him, and then a foot in there by Idrissa Gana Gay. It's cleared away until halfway line, picked up by Senior. Takes his time and then goes back to Olowo. And then back to his goalkeeper, Ian Lawler. Throws the ball towards the edge of the penalty area and then sends it long away towards Maxwell on this near side. Garner is there with him. Ball bounces off Garner, does it? Yes, it does. Out for a Doncaster throw. And Sean Dyche wants his players to raise the tempo. Maxwell drives away from Dan Juma, got the wrong side of him. That's going to be a free kick Doncaster's way.
No need to complain, it's a free kick all day long. And that all came about again because Everton switch off from throw-ins. They're able to get the ball in, get it back under control and look for a forward pass. Too easily for me.
Free kick which at the moment saying Westbrook is over, but Luke Molyneux's come to this near side as well. You know he can cross the ball left or right footed. We saw that in the first half. He's not quite had the possession to attack down the right hand side with Mikalenko in front of him in this second half so far, so Everton have stopped that supply chain. And it's going to be a free kick from this near side which Westbrook takes in the end. Deep towards the far post again. There's a free header inside the penalty area. He doesn't get away with it, but again that was just a simple ball to the far post. There was nobody marking.
There was a free header inside the penalty area. Once again it looked to me like the player was caught in two minds whether to be bold and try and head into top corner or to pick a teammate out, and again getting caught between the two. Everton get the ball away.
Switching place to Dan Juma on this near side again. He's forced to come back, but then plays it down the touchline for Garner. Beto's inside the penalty area. Ashley Young arriving, but the defensive header gets the ball away from danger. Onana, Mikalenko.
So I'm wondering why Onana and Decore aren't getting into those positions as well as that ball comes in.
Played away in this near side. Garner again. Comes back as far as Ben Godfrey. Godfrey switches play towards that far side, and Nana was behind the defender. Stops it going out for a goal kick. Played back now towards Mikalenko. Chance to put a cross in. It's a decent looking one as well, and the header comes in the end, but under pressure from the defender there, it just looped goalwards and easy in the end for Lawler to pick the ball up. But that was a decent ball in. And,
it was a decent move.
Beto just couldn't quite, he was under a lot of pressure, couldn't quite get the header.
The ball from Godfrey, nice little layup. I think Mikalenko could hit it first time actually, and then everybody knows what's happening. He takes a touch, whips in a good ball, and I think Beto's just got underneath it, hasn't he? And the defender just stood his ground, and Beto couldn't get round him or over him.
Everton in possession inside their own centre circle. But better crossing position certainly there for Mikalenko. Beto trying to get on the end of it, but I suppose you say the defender did his job. But he's looked lively as Beto since he came on. Certainly playing very, very central, which is what Everton needs. Certainly somebody's going to link up play, and now a chance for Mikalenko to break inside the penalty area. Turns it towards the far post. It took a deflection off the defender. Could have gone anywhere. It's gone behind for a corner.
Okay, so now we're starting to play a little bit. Onana has come to the party. Nice little 1-2 to release Mikalenko. Slides the ball in behind the Doncaster defence, and that clearance, I'm going to call it a clearance, there was no way that Oluwu had that under control. That could have gone anywhere. Sliding full stretch, just about, well, he puts it in behind. That could have gone anywhere. Running back towards his own goal. Much better from Everton.
66 minutes gone here. They still trail by goal to nil. Can they get the equaliser from this corner here? James Garner over it on the right hand side. Plenty of blue shirts making moves inside the penalty area now as Garner curls the ball in. The header in the end comes in, and it's high in the earth inside the penalty area from Onana, but it's kept in on this near side in the end, and they still have a chance to recycle it to Everton. Forward by Garner Gay. It's headed towards the edge of the penalty area. Again, it's a Doncaster player first too who gets the ball away. Just Garner Gay will play it back.
Clever little nudge there from Garner Gay on the blind side of the referee. He just gave, I think it was Ironside that was up there on his own. Just gave him a little nudge just to make sure he was running him under the ball.
Angle ball away. It's Doncaster being pinned back a bit here. And the header forward, Fowle will, no, he can't get to that one. Pickford's way outside his penalty area to take advantage. And he'll send it long. Onana stayed up alongside Beto there. And Juma battle for the ball, but
noticeably Everton starting to pick up a better share of these second balls.
Garner with the deep cross there. Ashley Young was trying to get in behind them on that far side, but Everton are pressing high now. Maxwell, ball down the channels there for Ironside to chase. Godfrey's the winner with that one, but he can't get the ball in play, and it's out for a throw.
Yeah, he's feigned. He's done me to go back to Pickford, and he could have done that actually. He could have done that. There was nobody else up pressurising him. It was just him and Ironside. Then he's turned out, and a heavy touch just puts the ball out for a throw in. So Doncaster have made 60-70 yards.
Whether they'll be thinking about fresh legs soon, Grant McCann, we'll wait and see. Now they make a mistake themselves.
That's a rarity where they haven't had a throw in and have got themselves into a playing position. Poor touch.
Tired legs perhaps. Throw down the near touch line. Beto is there. Tries to turn away from his marker. He does well, and he thinks he can have a run down this near touch line. He's opened his legs there.
Do you know what?
So that kind of play or not, it was very unlucky because Ashley Young was there around the penalty spot on the end of the cross. That was a really good run by him.
I'm not actually convinced it was out. I've got to be honest with you.
It was a tight one, wasn't it?
It was tight. I think the linesman might just have been a bit hasty there, but he's knocked it down the line, and as soon as he hit it, I thought, "Ooh, go on then." But I'm not sure you're going to catch that. For me, he did. For linesman, he very nearly did. But most importantly, he's wrapped his foot around it and put the ball in behind the defence. And Ashley Young was coming in from the other side, would have had a tap in.
Mikalenko with Molyneux on that far side, gets the ball away, picked up by Young, back as far as Mikalenko again. In the field to Garner Gay. Uses his body there to get the ball forward, and Beto plays well again, but then his pass is intercepted. But he was showing for the ball again, that was the key to it, and he made a bit of space away from his marker. But
his first touch was great, put him exactly where he wanted to be, and he's wanted to pass it out wide. Space is there, and he just mishits his pass again.
Doncaster, little chip ball forward. Molyneux trying to get beyond Mikalenko down the right hand side there. He's stuck with him, and this time he comes away with the ball. That didn't happen too many times in the first half, but that was much better.
Matched him for pace and kept his eye on the ball.
Rolls it forward, and then Ashley Young gets clattered. The ball's played forward towards Danjuma down this near side, but again, it's a fairly straightforward ball by Garner, but he didn't find Danjuma.
Story of Everton's night. The reason why Garner was under a little bit of pressure with his first touch was because the pass from Garner Gate was not a great one. I think Ashley Young just about managed to get it out to James Garner, and then his pass forward was badly overhit.
The Doncaster captain Tommy Rowe is going to come off, and it's going to be Tyler Roberts who's going to come on in place of him. Grant McCann will be very, very pleased with the way his captain's played tonight, but perhaps without so much possession in the second half, he needs a slightly different player on the pitch. I mean, it was his cross that produced the goal.
I've been impressed with everything he's done, and then I realised he's 34 years old. He's had a good night. Maybe the plan all along was to take him off after 70 minutes, but yeah, he's had a really, really good game.
Yeah, important player for them, definitely. So fresh legs, Tyler Roberts comes on. That's the first change that Grant McCann's made this evening. Remember those three Everton subs at half time with Idrissa Gueye, Ashley Young and Beto coming on. Chermity, Dobbin and Patterson, the players that went off, as having just changed their shape a little bit. And Doncaster have the possession now, looking forward for Ironside, the goal scorer. Just past the 70-minute mark here. Everton still trailing by a goal to nil. All played in, and still haven't tested perhaps goalkeeper Laura as much as they would have wanted to in this second half, given they've had more of the possession. That's good play on that far side. The ball's won back by Young inside the penalty, pulls the ball back, now it's behind, breaks edge of the pit, Better with a shot, it's on his left foot and it's gone well wide. Well, it was really good build-up play. He was rather losing his balance as he hit it Beto, and he sliced it well wide of the far post.
That's good play. Mikalenko, bit of aggression, bit of pace. Nice ball forward. Ball's played into the penalty area. Came to Danjuma, and I think a better first touch gives him the opportunity. His first touch just puts it behind him, so changed his mind. Sends Beto up, and I'm thinking, go on then. And I'm just waiting for him to wrap that into the side netting, and he just gets it horribly wrong. He's falling backwards, and it just goes miles wide. But up to that point, that was more good play.
Onana, much more encouraging from Everton, creating opportunities now. Mikalenko with Michael Keane. Mikalenko back as hard as Michael Keane. Doncaster trying to press there. Now ball played down the far touchline by Young, then the ball forward. Beto trying to get behind the defence, and he hasn't as well. He's past the goalkeeper, and this time he has scored, and it's an equaliser for Everton. Good play down the left-hand side. A terrific ball forward, and Beto's pace got him beyond the defender, and then he was really cool this time as he just rolled the ball past Ian Lawler. And Beto, well, he should have scored a moment ago, but he has done now, and it's Everton back on level terms here. 73 minutes gone. Doncaster Rovers 1, Everton 1.
Well, Ashley Young said after 5 minutes, Ashley Young and Beto have improved this team no end. I've been impressed with what I've seen from Beto, his willingness, his attempt to hold the ball up, his attempt to bring teammates into play, but most importantly, he's got a little bit of pace, and he set off there in behind, and Ashley Young's found him with an absolute peach of a ball. Beto's outstrengthened his man, he's outpaced him, and then the finish with the outside of his right foot was absolutely superb. Lawler, I'm not sure, there must have been something wrong with, I don't know if that ball has gone inside Lawler, because it seems to go at the near post. Now I would have expected him to put it in the far post, so whether Lawler's position was slightly wrong, there seems to be a big gap there.
Yeah.
Nevertheless,
from our angle, wasn't it?
Nevertheless, he sets off on a run. Young puts it in behind. He gets his body across, he gets his arm across the defender. He's stronger than him, he's quicker than him, and then he's got a little bit of composure because he was still under pressure when he played that ball in, but the ball was perfect. He didn't have to have two touches. It just rolled into his path, and he's finished it with the outside of his right foot. So I'm expecting Everton now to go on and get on top and dominate this game and win it.
Well, they've got about 16 minutes plus the stoppage time in the 90. When we go straight to penalties, don't we, at the end of it? Don't want to go to a lottery. They want to make sure they do that. So Mikalenko is going to come off, and James Tarkowski is going to come on in place of him. So a substitution.
Mikalenko's down.
I don't know when. To the goal, I
don't know when he got injured, but as soon as that ball went in, he sat down, and I think it was like, yeah, I'm done.
So Ashley Young will go to full back now.
Ashley Young will go to left back. Yeah, no problem there.
Ball played forward. Now Doncaster have something to challenge them. Back on level terms here.
So Godfrey will play right back, and James Garner will just push back into the right side of midfield.
He's trying to play out from the back there. Jesse Garner-Gay carries the ball and then looks forward.
He's waited for Godfrey to give him a pass, and he didn't give it. And he wanted Godfrey to break past the centre forward Mo Fowl, and he stood behind him. And Garner-Gay said, "Come on, move," and in the end, it's all gone wrong.
Doncaster thrown halfway. Maxwell gets the ball back and then tries to play it down the near touchline. That's going to drift out of play. So it's taken them a while, Everton, but eventually back on level terms. And for Beto, his first goal for the club, Everton's first goal of the season in any competition, of course. And is that a good sign for the future? Well, he's looked lively since he came on, Beto. Had an opportunity just before he got that goal, but as Barry was saying, terrific pass by Ashley Young, but he still had something to do. He had to get beyond the defender, be strong, and then had to finish it as well.
But the pass is a good one. It's teamwork. If Beto doesn't put that run in, that pass is rubbish. Or Ashley Young doesn't even try the pass. So the two of them working together, the timing of the run, from looking at where Ashley Young's body is, where the ball is, right, I can go now because he can pass it, and Ashley Young's looking at him thinking, brilliant, there you go, do something with that.
Onana plays the ball in towards the edge of the penalty area, but Doncaster close the gaps on this occasion. Now Falls a little bit deeper, he will run forward, he's trying to play it in towards Ironside beyond Michael Keane. Now Ironside, his goal put Doncaster ahead, remember. Ironside inside the penalty area, thought about the shot once, then changed his mind. Everton players back there, well, the home fans thought that might have been a penalty.
I did, if I'm being honest.
The referee's given on it, but now Everton break at the other end when Danjuma trying to play it towards Beto again. Again, his pace gets him there first. He's forced a little bit wide on this occasion. Has support though from Ashley Young. Ball played infield to Garner Gay. Wide again. There's plenty of space now for Everton inside the penalty. The shot comes in. Good save by Lawler. That was an opportunity for Ashley Young to put Everton in front. Chances both ends. Young again. Edge of the penalty area. Cuts inside. Whips the cross in. Headed away from danger. Only as far as Onana. Everton will recycle it again. Played in towards the edge of the penalty area. Danjuma trying to play it forward, but in the end, Doncaster get the ball forward, and Ironside will run now at Michael Keane. Keane's across. It's going to be a Doncaster throw, but as you say, you thought it might have been a penalty Doncaster's way.
I think it was O'Malley. He's gone to ground and he's not made any contact with the ball. Now the player's gone down. Now from here I couldn't actually see how much contact he's made with the player. The referee was on the spot, as he has been all night, waved it away.
And then Everton broke forward and could easily have created another goal for themselves.
Yeah.
Ball down the corner by Maxwell again. Next time Godfrey with a challenge, but the referee says play on again. He's trying to get the game moving, his referee, Tom Reeves. And we've got a free kick inside the centre circle there for the challenge on Jesse Garner-Gay. Tarkovsky takes it quickly away on that far touch line, looking for Ashley Young's run forward, but it's bounced beyond everybody and out for a throw on that far side.
The second half's gone a little bit quicker than the first, I've got to say.
Yeah, well,
less than 15 minutes left.
Yeah, we'll see how much stoppage time. They're only a quarter next to the end of the first half.
If you offered Doncaster penalties now,
they'd take it.
They'd take it.
They might have taken it before they started it, might they?
But you just get a sense that Everton are starting to get on top.
Yeah, that first goal for the season, I suppose that makes a difference. That's off the rack now, isn't it? Beto, the player who's got it. Burnley are a goal up at Nottingham Forest. Still no goals between Sheffield United and Lincoln. Ian Kelly in the studio, of course, but all the final scores tonight, of course, and Barry Horn sticking around with Ian for your calls after the final whistle here. 0800 731 9333. So the penalty shootout looms at the moment. Just over 10 minutes of the 90 to go in this one. Beto's equaliser on 73 for Everton. Goal right at the end of the first half from Joe Ironside. They put Doncaster in front. This time it's the Doncaster fans who want a free kick, but again the referee won't give it. Now with Doucouré, James Garner, a bit more purpose about Everton. Ball with Onana, but he's caught in possession, and Foul there trying to get himself away from James Tarkovsky. He's all by himself though, is Mo Foul. Needs a bit of support. Ball breaks as far as Broadbent. Maxwell wants it to his left hand side. It's going to go wide to Molyneux down the right hand side. Now Bailey joins in, but he's beaten out of it on the edge of the penalty area. Now space for Doucouré between the lines. He's got Beto ahead of him, defenders all around him. He goes down under a challenge. That's going to be a free kick Everton's way.
Well, now they're getting caught. It wasn't his passing that's let him down this time. It's hanging onto the ball too long. He got caught in midfield.
There are a few more spaces in the game though now. There
was a lot for Mo Foul to do there. Everton had bodies back, but in the Premier League you lose possession there, you get punished.
Doucouré loses possession on that far side, but then runs into Ashley Young, and the ball's gone out for a Doncaster throw midway inside their own half.
Even Molyneux, who was so impressive in the first half, his play's a bit ragged now, isn't he? Looking tired. He's tried to take on a couple of players and more or less fallen over his own feet.
Yeah, spark's not quite there anymore. The momentum has changed, no doubt about that. Sheffield United against Lincoln has gone to penalties. That's where Everton, of course, go on Saturday, and we'll have full commentary on that game. 12:30 kick-off at Bramall Lane as well. Every Everton game this season for you on BBC Radio Merseyside. Now Godfrey has carried the ball forward a long way. Wide to Garner. Garner whips the cross in. Beto's there with the header. It's the post and comes back. So unlucky. Terrific ball in by James Garner. Beto almost had his second goal.
What a leap. And it was an absolute bullet header, of course, He's just hit the inside of the post. It's rocketed back to him. Couldn't quite bring it under control to get a second shot off.
Everton have won the ball back again.
That was some leap, that.
Bullet header. So unlucky. There's Beto. He's certainly given a focus to this Everton attack in the second half. He's got the equaliser and could have had a hat-trick actually. Just Garner Gay now with Ashley Young edge of the penalty area. Ball played forward again. Doucouré is there. It's flicked the top of the crossbar. It's a It's Danjuma with the shot, and it's just flicked the top of the crossbar and gone behind. Another opportunity for Everton, hit the woodwork for the second time inside a minute.
Ashley and Garner again instrumental in driving the team forward, keeping play alive.
Mo Farrell is the player going to come off. Sam Strown-Brown is the player who's going to come on in place of him. 83 minutes gone in this one. 11,430 is the tendency this evening, and 2,988, almost 3,000 Everton fans inside the ground. Well, you're talking about the great support this club has, and that's another example tonight, Baron.
Yep.
I'm being rewarded with Everton's first goal of the season, and certainly a much better performance in the second half with the substitutions.
Yep, that's all they've got to be thankful for, I think. At the moment, I still think Everton will get the winner.
Ironside played away towards that far side, and Ashley Young was trying to cushion his header back to Jordan Pickford. Fortunately,
heading's definitely not a strong point
at either end of the pitch. But he produced that wonder pass for Beto's equaliser, certainly, and he's been a calming influence as Anana then plays in towards Beto again. He's trying to worm his way past the central defender, holds his ground, and the referee said too much pushing and shoving, and a free kick Doncaster's way. But he's a real handful.
Yep, just too much use of the arms and on a couple of occasions.
He was
substitution for Everton, player coming off number 16, Abdoulaye Doucouré.
Abdoulaye Doucouré is now going to come off for Everton, and Neil Maupay is on in place of him. So another attacker on the pitch with 6 minutes of normal time to go.
It's quite bold from Sean Dyche if he's going to go 4-4-2 at this point, because although I expect, as things were, I think Everton were getting on top, and I could see them getting a winner to
see how Neil Maupay does alongside a big man who's causing problems, perhaps.
I'm just trying to think what would you say, is he dropping Danjuma back? He's not really a midfielder, is he? So it's a form of 4-4-2, I guess.
Young gets a foot in on Molyneux on that far side. It breaks as far as Bailey, the right back. Maybe a throw to the home side. One apiece here, just over 5 minutes of 90 left. Remember, we go straight to penalties after the stoppage time. And Everton won't want the lottery that is, I'm sure. Certainly done enough in this second half, I think. They've hit the post, they've hit the top of the crossbar through Danjuma as well. That Beto with that thumping header so close to putting Everton in front.
The first half was definitely Doncaster's, wasn't it? The second half, I think Everton have shaded on chances created, certainly shots on goal or attempts on goal.
I won't go back to the first half and ask you about your boxing scorecard now. We'll take that analogy out of it.
Let's leave that.
We'll leave that one. Ball is back with Ben Godfrey on this near touchline. Beto again, he's saying, play it to me, I don't mind if you do. But keeps it with Garner, then back as far as Godfrey again. To Maupay, back as far as Idrissa Gana Gueye. Chelsea have beaten Wimbledon by 2-1. There's 7:45 kickoffs, the scoreline's coming in. Maupay turns out to the penalty area, plays it towards Beto, but the Doncaster defence stays firm, but then Idrissa Gana Gueye's won it. Neil Maupay again, he's just crowded out, might break for Beto inside the penalty area, plays it towards Maupay again. It's at full stretch there, the Doncaster defence just wouldn't quite drop for Everton inside the box.
No, Gana Gueye once again doing what nobody in Everton should have did in the first half, picking up loose balls in midfield.
Yeah, he's made a difference.
Either regaining possession, keeping moves, keeping teams penned in, or as he is here, starting an attack.
Garner with the cross in from the right hand side. Beto, well, it's just over his head this time. Nana on the edge of the penalty area wins the ball back. Blackburn have won 8-0 at Harrogate. That's a final score as well. Ashley Young still has the possession. Cross back towards halfway. James Tarkowski. Anana in towards Maupay, left edge of the penalty area on the overlap there. Ashley tries to play the ball in, it's side-footed towards goal, and well, it looked as if they were going to have another goal. It was James Garner who got on the end of it, just outside the 6-yard box, and somehow was blocked away from danger.
Good play, getting right in behind the defence, onto the byline, cut back. Garner, not sure he could have done much more there, to be honest with you. You've got to give the defender credit for being exactly in the right place to block that shot.
It's still with Everton. 3 minutes plus the stoppage time to go. The cross comes in again. It's just booted away from danger by Doncaster. It really is everybody back for them at the moment. Godfrey there is going to be penalised, I think, for just getting a bit too close to the Doncaster player. They'll be happy about that. They'll be happy if it's penalties now, the home crowd, I think.
Well, they would have taken penalties from the second that
Everton equalised.
That better equalised, yeah, absolutely.
Stood firm. Everton really with the chances in the second half, should be in front in this one. Beto had a good one before he got his equaliser. Thumped ahead against the post. Danjuma with a curling shot that clipped off the top of the crossbar. And close in the second half. Now Garner, bit of space again for Maupay. Beto again is making the forward run ahead of him. Played towards Danjuma, doesn't quite find him, but Beto, a little flick header back towards Maupay again. James Garner has got forward and towards Maupay again, midway inside the Doncaster half. Onana played wide to that far side to Danjuma. Maupay's gone on edge of the penalty area, played back towards Danjuma again. Mob might open up for him now, gets a shot away and puts Everton into the third round of the Carabao Cup. Surely it was a well-worked move. Danjuma in from that left-hand side, his first Everton goal as well, as he just curled it beyond the right hand of Ian Lawler. We're in the 89th minute here, but Everton now have sealed their place in the next round, surely. Danjuma the goal scorer. It's Doncaster 1, Everton 2.
Perfect timing. I was just looking at the clock as that move was developing, thinking Everton needs to get a move on here, because the clock's ticking down. There will be added on time, yes, but we've not got all day, lads. Let's bit of urgency, because what I was thinking was Ashley Young could have put the ball in, Maupay could have fed the ball in, they kept recycling it. And in the end, Danjuma just drifted in, past one, not sure he knew what he was going to do, past another, and then it opened up nicely for him. And in the end, it was a relatively simple finish, again at the near post for Ian Lawler. Didn't strike it particularly, didn't have to, literally just slotted it in nice. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was a cool finish, actually. There's not a lot that he's shown that would make me suggest it was a cool finish, but that's how it looked. I don't care at this moment. It's 2 goals, it's 2 new players that have got the goals, and Everton are in the hat, and they've got a win, and they've got a goal, and let's
a bit more confidence for Sheffield United at the weekend.
Let's forget about that first 45 minutes. I mean, Sean Dyche will not be able to,
no,
and he will have learned a lot, I think, about certain individuals who may have been in the team and maybe who weren't in the team. I'm thinking Garnagay and Ashley Young, actually, when you're looking around for. I don't think Garnagay is particularly vocal, is he? But he gets about and tries to do the right things. I think Sean. I think
6 minutes of stoppage time, Barry.
Yeah, I think Young coming on was.
Yeah, probably saving his legs tonight, or hoping to save his legs tonight.
Yes, he certainly didn't start because he's not been playing well, or because he's not going to start. I was going to say the fact that he came on was instrumental in Everton getting back in the game.
Just need to manage the game now, Everton. Doncaster need to open up, certainly. Better with a header forward, but Garner was just trying to make sure he stayed on side. Doncaster got one last throw. It's a while since they were inside that Everton penalty area, certainly. But again, it's Garnagay could be trying to win the ball back. Now Maxwell. And Maxwell and Molyneux are players we've said a lot about in the first half, but it wasn't happening for them. Now they're running at that defence at the other end. Tyler Roberts is trying to get inside the penalty area. Breaks to the edge of the box now. Opportunity for the shot to come in. Takes a deflection away and then headed away and out of play on the near side. No, it's kept in play. Close to the corner flag. Doncaster still trying to do something about this inside the penalty area. Still go on. Ball played out to the penalty area again. Garnagay is chasing absolutely everything down. Ball played in field again. And,
corner.
It's going to be a corner to Doncaster. Well, they have reacted. They have reacted.
They've still got hope.
They're pleased with the response their team have made to going 2-1 down.
Yeah, it's strange. The dynamics change. Everton get the goal. They're on top. All of a sudden, Doncaster come back into it. Another short corner routine.
Again, it's to the edge of the penalty area. Played wide again. Now Molyneux will curl the cross in. Pickford stays on his line. But inside the Everton penalty area. Hacked away this time. Picked up by Molyneux again. Players have stayed forward. Comes back to the halfway line. Little chip ball forward. Doncaster players trying to get behind the defence. They're onside as well. It's played inside the 6-yard box, but Pickford comes and claims it.
Absolutely fascinating. How often do you see that? Teams behind, they drag themselves into the game, 1-1, they get themselves in front, they're playing well and dominating 2-1, and all of a sudden the game just completely flips. And it's Doncaster, it's Everton now who are hanging on to that lead that they've earned themselves.
Yeah, so comfortable for most of the second half, as you say, hardly a peep out of Doncaster, and then we get it in the stoppage time, and we're in the third minute of those 6 at the moment. Long ball forward, but only as far as Lawler. And do you just naturally back off a little bit when you're 2-1 up now and the game goes?
No, it's the psychology of it is absolutely is fascinating. There's not one single player on there who's done anything differently consciously. It's like a collective psychology where it just happens time after time after time. Throwing the kitchen sink on now. 2 subs.
Lincoln have beaten Sheffield United on penalties. So Maxwell off, and Sotona has come on, and Westbrook has come off, and Jack Goodman is on in place of him.
2 defenders.
So they're just going to try and push players forward right
Get
to the
players
end.
forward, and then I presume if they manage to sneak a goal, they've got a lot of good penalty takers on the pitch. I'm guessing.
Burnley have won at Nottingham Forest by a goal to 0. But here come Everton looking for a third goal. It's Mopé inside the penalty area. Shot is blocked away from danger. Better was alongside of him, but it might come back now. Now a chance for Garner to drill it. Again, it takes a double deflection away, and it's gone behind for a goal kick off James Garner. But 2.
Good energy from Garner there to pounce on that loose ball, and then it opened up nice for him. Once again, Doncaster defenders blocking a goal-bound shot. They have done that time and time again.
Improving signs in League 2, I would think, but Beto again is running behind the defence on this near side. He's wide right. Maupay wants it near post, and well, Beto decides to play it far post, but it's beaten everybody. But it doesn't really matter because the ball's in the right half of the pitch as far as Everton are concerned as we go into the 5th minute of stoppage time.
Still 2 minutes to go. I think Beto might have been better off there. Just keeping possession. I hate any team running the ball into the corner. I absolutely hate it. But you can keep possession. You're going to come out, going across midfield. I don't know what he's seen with that cross. There was nobody in the penalty area.
Tired legs from Doncaster on that far side. Broadbent has put an awful lot into this game there. Just early in the game, he just played that back to Bailey, no problem at all. But the ball went out of play. Shows you how momentum changes. How
a few Doncaster fans are starting to dribble out now.
Chance for Maupay from distance, and it's the shot on the edge of the penalty area from Dan Juma in the end, and it's held by the goalkeeper. Long clearance forward by him. Ball is cleared halfway. It's almost like 2 games taking place now.
It is.
One in one half, one in the other.
There's a game in that final third, and there's a bit of a game going on up here, but nothing much in between.
They could have thrown a blanket over the players in the middle of the pitch earlier in this match. And Ben Godfrey, I think, has gone down there.
A little bit of cramp, I think.
Referee saying if you need treatment, then you need to get up and get off the pitch. I think that's what he's trying to tell him.
He's looking very deliberately at his watch, so I think there'll be another 2 minutes to play when he gets up.
Yeah, in the final minutes of stoppage time. There's a chance for Neil Mopé on the edge of the penalty area a moment ago, and everything he seems to hit gets blocked, doesn't it, at the moment?
Yes, I was going to comment on that actually, but thought, so I won't bother, but I'm desperate for him to do well. I'm desperate to do something, but he's had 2 or 3 attempts and they've all been blocked, haven't they? Or
yeah, if it happens all the time, then is it a little delay, or is the shot not quite good enough? I mean,
no, you're absolutely right.
I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it happens once or twice, yeah, good defending, but if it becomes a regular occurrence, then that's when you put a question mark against it, perhaps. It's going to be a throw on that far side, midway inside the Doncaster half, in the extra stoppage time now that Tom Reeves, the referee, is going to add on. But, the reaction of the Doncaster fans is they've been very, very pleased with their team's performance tonight, and that will encourage them going into the League 2 battle at the weekend. Still without a league victory this season. The ball is headed forward, and Beto trying to get away from his marker. Then it's won back by producer Garner Gay. Heads towards the edge of the penalty area. Goes on. Gay fancies scoring the third himself. Places towards Beto. Can he make it 3? Yes, he can. In fact, the flag's gone up for offside.
Well, Paul, you know what I was saying earlier about the two players working together, Ashley Young and Beto, timing of the run, timing of the pass. That was just two players completely not working together.
Final whistle has gone. Sean Dyche will come and shake hands with Grant McCann. He'll be a bit relieved, I'm sure. Sean Dyche in the end. He'll be happy with the second half performance. Very unhappy, I would suggest, with the first half performance from Everton. But they're through to the third round of the Carabao Cup, and well, that's what you wanted at the start of play. You can see how disappointed the Doncaster players did. They put everything into this game this evening. Certainly they've come out with a lot of credit, but Everton have got the victory in the end, Barry.
I think when the dust is settled, I think they will be very pleased with the way they've played. Yes, they'll be disappointed because they had enough chances to win several games in that first half and played well enough. But you know, it's not about the cup for them. They've got to get themselves off the bottom of the league. They're not going to win this cup. They could have had another. They'd be disappointed they haven't got another game in it. But they've done well, and the manager will say that. Someone will say, "Well, you play like that against Swindon on Saturday, and we'll be up and running in the league as well." That's their challenge. Sean Dyche, his challenge is to get something of a coherent 11-10 outfield players. Jordan Pickford picks himself, and a team that has some fluidity, some potency, some confidence. Because in that first half they were awful, and I don't use words like that when I'm talking about Everton very often, but they were abject. And I think he will have learned about the importance of Idrissa Gana Gueye and Ashley Young. He knows about the importance of James Tarkowski, I think. But still, there's more questions than answers. Is James Garner going to step up? Is Decore going to find any level of consistency? Where is Onana's position? What is Onana's position? What is he good at? What's Danjuma good at? We think we know his position, but he's not really done that much against the Division 2, League 2 team tonight.
0800 731 9333 will answer some of the questions that Barry's posing here. He'll stick around in the studio, of course, but you'll carry on, Barry.
So you could go through your team, couldn't you?
Beto, real positive second half.
Well, listen, let's not get carried away. We're playing in League bottom of League 2. Bottom of League 2, but he was aggressive. He seemed to know what a centre forward's job is. That's really, really important. That is really important. He seems to want to play as centre forward. I would question some of the positions he was taking up. I was just watching him when play was building up. But you can coach that. What you can't coach is eagerness, enthusiasm, aggression, and there's one thing that you certainly cannot coach, and that's a little bit of pace. And he showed that on that occasion when he ran down the line. And I've got to say, I don't know if my bifocals were deceiving me under these not brilliant lights, but I can't wait to see that header that hit the post again, because that seemed to me to be some leap and some header that Bob Latchford would have been proud of.
Yeah, I mean, important. He showed up in the second half, didn't he? I mean, he'd missed an opportunity just before he got his goal.
Completely scuffed the one with his left foot, so that might be something to work on. But finished nicely with the outside of his right foot, and then could have had another one. And him and Idrissa Gana Gueye got it completely wrong in the last minute there. Between them, they should have walked that ball into net. Gana Gueye held on to it too long. Beto didn't hold his run. By the time Gana Gueye passed him, he was offside. That should have been the icing on the cake.
And the winner from Danjuma, I mean, it was a good move by Everton down the left-hand side, and they had a lot more of those in the second half.
Yeah, and he's chinked inside one, he's chinked inside another, opened up nicely for him, and a fairly casual finish at the near post. I think he's had opportunities to do that more, so can he do that a little bit more consistently?
Can you forget the first half from Everton or not, Barry, just quickly?
I think Sean Dyche and the players, it's essential that they don't. They have to address that. I'm not I'm not going to be thinking about it on the way home tonight, that's for sure.
Thanks very much to Barry. 0800 731 9333. Want to give Barry a ring here at the Eco Power Stadium. Ian Kennedy in the studio, but in the end, after a goal right at the end of the first half from Joe Ironside to put Doncaster in front, they've been the better side in the first half certainly, but Everton with those changes with Young and Guy, and also Beto coming in the second half, much better. Beto, the first Everton goal of the season with the equaliser, and then the first goal for Everton for Arnaud Danjuma as well, right in the last couple of minutes. That's put Everton in the third round of the Carabao Cup. It's finished here. Doncaster Rovers 1, Everton 2.
Thanks, Derek, and we'll be talking to Barry again very shortly.